Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for being here with me today for this reading. I'm super excited. We are going to be looking at how you are perceived in all areas of your life from every single relationship you can think of. We've got quite a few long boys here to get through. And I've just been having a great time filming this tarot reading for you. So I have 4 piles for you to choose from. Pile 1, your card is the Threshold with that little sun. Pile 2, the Castle. I think you've got a little skull icon. And then pile 3, Anima Mundi. I didn't actually see what y'all's were, but pile 4, Animal. Y'all got this cute little, I don't even know. I don't even know what it is. Those are the options here. I'll have timestamps listed down below. And hope to see you there. Bye, everyone. Hello. Thanks so much for being here with me today, all of you lovelies who chose pile 1. I've taken a little bit of a break. I went back home to see my family for Colorado, and while I was there, I was like, I'm gonna do so much. I ended up not doing so much, and I'm kind of glad that I didn't, because now I'm re-energized and I'm ready to get some readings going. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into how are you being perceived. We have a lot to get into. First off, we're going to start out with the oracle cards. First thing we're going to look at is what vibes you are currently giving off to people, how they are interpreting you, your vibes right now. And the card that represents that, we have the Threshold. Now, instantly when this came out, I was like, wow, this pile is on the verge of some big life changes or just big changes in general. This could be something that you've been working for or manifesting towards, or this is something coming out of left field that only other people, or maybe it's giving me the idea of several bosses have been observing you and conspiring to give you a promotion or put you in a new role, and maybe you don't know it. That would be the out of left field changes that you weren't really expecting that are just happening towards you. Whatever's going on here, I think people right now are seeing you, I'm hearing in a different light. I wonder if there's some people from the past that are kind of popping up with their energy here with that message. It feels like if there have been people who've known you in the past or have seen your growth throughout the years, they are observing that you are about to reach new heights. It's like something that they feel. They can see your growth. They can see you've worked through this darkness and you're just right at the peak, right towards the top where you're about to shift into a different energy, or shift into a new world, a new life for you. I would say, based on the Threshold here, I think there are a lot of people who have picked up on the vibe that you come from a life that maybe wasn't super easy, or you've gone through some pretty challenging circumstances over the recent past. I don't think you're the type of person where people just automatically assume that things have been easy peasy for you. You might have opened up about some struggles to people, or people can just see that, hey, this person's gone through some stuff, And they've really used those circumstances to the benefit of their life. They've alchemized the past. And maybe that's why I'm picking up on past energies. I wonder if you have a lot of past energies coming towards you now. And obviously, this will be for your own interpretation, who you think you want to let back into your life, if you want to let people back into your life. But it's almost like while you were going through the thick of it, a lot of people, or a lot of these energies that I'm picking up on, they were kind of like, ooh, I'm going to stay away because I can't handle that right now. I can't be a good support system. Which is it's given me little weird vibes here. I'm just going to channel the message. I wonder if there's a specific person who is like, I can't deal with this, I'm walking out. And now that they see you kind of alchemizing that past and turning into a better version of yourself, or just, using that time in your life for better, they want to start coming back because they see you on the verge of success. Interesting. There might be a lot of people who felt like it was hard to see your true colors while you were going through this. And so they weren't really sure about you. And this is more like the energy that I would vibe with, People who were kind of like, well, we couldn't really get to know you in the past because you were doing this, or you weren't really sure about who you were, blah, 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 blah. It was hard to really see you. And now that you're kind of breaking through this threshold into a new life, into a new version of yourself, they can really get behind who you are, who you've become, the you that you're showing out to the world. I feel a lot of warm, fiery energy from this pile specifically, with the sun here and the threshold, these colors here. It's almost like a life force, a life force is being breathed back into you. Whether you're responsible for breathing this force back into yourself, or whether it's outside circumstances finally changing for you, it feels like a new life, a new beginning, a new you that is celebrated, that is seen as warm and welcoming and loving and bright and fresh. A lot more positive too. Some of you guys could be fire signs, so that's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. We do have Virgo here, which we'll talk about later, but yeah, fire signs and Virgo. Some of you, I wonder if you've been the type of personality or the type of person where you just didn't really know what you wanted. You kind of floated all over. You were trying to try things here, try things there, and you really couldn't find solid ground, solid footing for what you wanted to pursue. And you had all of this fire, but nowhere to channel it because you just weren't passionate about things. And some of you found something you're passionate about, and it boom, a switch was flipped. A fire was lit under your butt, and now it's full throttle towards this thing, and people are really feeling that passion from you and the drive. And I think because you are so confident, so passionate about this thing, people are really seeing this as something worthwhile. And it's almost like this vibe of, this person cannot fail at this. This person will accomplish what they set out to accomplish. That's why so many people, the vibe that you're giving off is the vibe that you are about to break through something. Very interesting. So if that kind of sounds like you, feel free to stay. We've got a lot to get into. Let's continue on with the oracle cards. We have, what parts of yourself do you show to the world that people are noticing? And what's interesting, we have the swan reversed. Now the swan is mirrored here, and it's giving me, just right off the bat, that idea that a new version of yourself is finally allowed to shine through. Or if we're talking about flipping energies, it's like flipping the narrative, flipping the ideas people had about you, showing a new side that allows people to kind of be like, oh wow, I was really wrong about how I perceived you, or I enjoy this colorful version of you a lot more than the closed off version. Let's see. So when this card is reversed, the guidebook kind of talks about a little bit more of out of balance energies here, but I'm gonna kind of go away from the book definitions here with this one, because I think it's symbolic that it came out reverse. When you look at the threshold, we have this threshold, obviously, that you're about to cross into. And it's just reminding me, it's kind of mirroring with this swan who is mirroring with the water. I think people are noticing that you have either integrated your shadow aspects, or you have integrated the aspects of you, the personality traits of you that really held you back, or you identified with so strongly that you couldn't really see any other aspects of yourself, they're noticing how you've created space for more of yourself and how you have recognized that you're a multifaceted being who can flip back and forth between different energies. That you don't have to be a one-dimensional person, because I think it's so easy for people in society and everyone does this to some degree. We put ourselves in a box, or society puts us in a box, and they say, okay, we have to be this one way. And if you're angry, then you're just an angry person, And it's like, well, no, I am a human. I have a full range of emotions. I have a full range of talents that I'm allowed to explore. I don't have to fit in this cookie cutter mold. I wonder if you're really inspiring people right now with the changes you've made. I wonder if there's close people to you who have seen you start to branch out into new things or expand what it means to be you. And they're kind of like, oh, I have this lovely, beautiful person who has this characteristic that may be a little bit more negative, but they also have this characteristic that I love so much. And if I can love someone with both of these characters, that means I can love myself when I exhibit two different sides of myself, I think you're helping people release shame through you feeling shameless about who you are. Very interesting. And because we do have these two mirroring energy cards here, I wonder if you are mirroring a lot of aspects of other people back to themselves. And that could be received very positively, kind of like what we touched on, or there might be some people who don't like what's being mirrored back to them. And that's their shindig, You can't control that. The one thing that is standing out to me from this book is writing. I wonder if you guys are writers, if you're writing a book, if you write in your day-to-day life or for work, blah, 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 blah. Writing specifically is popping out here, but also just creativity. The swan is a very creative soul. Very beautiful soul, very elegant. And this could be the threshold that you're crossing if you've been working on something creative and you're getting ready to release it. Maybe there are people who know that you're getting ready to release something. Very interesting. I want to move on to the main talking point that is surrounding you right now. We have the eel. Now, the eel is a little interesting here for it to come out. And I will note that when I was shuffling, I just wanted one card because it can be easy for me to let multiple cards slide and then it's like the whole table is covered and I don't want that. So I had to shuffle, I think 3 times to finally just get one card. But the other 2 times, the cards were flying onto the floor, like 2 or 3 at a time. And I was like, okay, there is a lot of talk surrounding you, which kind of makes sense with the sun here. We'll talk about that later. But to have this one card coming out, I think it kind of wraps a lot of different talking points into this card because there are 3 things that are associated with this card. We have what lurks, electricity, and dishonesty. So we have a very mixed bag here of what people are talking about. And I think that goes back to how people are responding to the mirroring energy that you're giving off and how people are responding to this knowledge or this expression of you expanding yourself and shifting into new energy. I think there is a fair amount of people who feel excited whenever they're talking about you. They're kind of like, wow, did you see what pile 1 is doing? Did you see what pile 1 is creating? Have you heard about this? There's a lot of magnetic attraction here. And there's a lot of positivity here, I do want to say. I think on the positive side, the people who love you, who cherish you, who are your biggest supporters, they're talking about the change you've made in your energy. I wonder if you guys have made some big changes to your diet or your lifestyle that have brought back almost like a childlike energy, that electricity, when you were a kid and you could just go and go and go and go, and you just really couldn't feel tired. I think people have noticed a big change there. And that fire, yeah, electricity, fire, this passion, this excitement. There's something that you're working on, you're producing, or that you've shared with people who are just really excited for you and really pumped up to learn about this. Also, I'm so sorry if you hear my cat meowing. She's in the kitchen and she's started this new thing for attention where she just yodels until I come and pick her up. And I'm trying to train her that I will not pick her up, but she has not picked that up yet. She's way off in the distance, though, so I think you can't hear her. Anyway, back to your reading. Now, on the party pooper hand, I think there might be some people here that are slithering around, trying to learn some secrets, trying to figure out what's going on behind the scenes. And it's really crazy. Some people, I don't even want to get into it because I for 2025, I'm trying to be more positive. I'm not even going to yap about that, but what I will say is know that if you hear that some people are talking negative about you, or hear that some people just really aren't supporting what you're doing, or even to the fact that they might be making fun of you or doubting how you accomplished what you accomplished, just know that's all projection. That has nothing to do with you, and the people who love and support you see you completely differently than you think, and you don't have to worry. You are protected, and as long as you're comfortable and confident in what you're doing, other people's opinions cease to matter. Moving on to Virgo here, with what people love the most about you. There's something put together about your energy. Virgos are very organized, stereotypically, okay? And if that's not your message, that's okay. There are multiple here. But something that is sticking out is the organization of something, the aesthetics of something too. Something you do or something you wear, whatever it is here. There's something very classy, very put together about it that intrigues people. You create some sort of experience here that allows people to be drawn in, and they feel relaxed, they feel taken care of, they feel nurtured. I'm hearing like they feel a little bougie. I wonder if you provide a service and it helps people feel a lot more put together. I'm talking about hairstylists, I'm talking about makeup artists, designers, things like that. You help people feel beautiful. If that's not your message, another message here is helping people feel confident in their own skin. That doesn't have to be physical. Some of you give really bomb compliments that are original. Like you're really good at observing a person wholly and saying, wow, you know what? I can see where they put that detail in. I can appreciate that detail. It's something about noticing the details of people and being able to tell them that it is recognized. Okay, now I'm just word spouting. Being able to recognize the details other people put in to their work or to their outfit, whatever it is, and then being able to recognize it and articulate a very genuine compliment. That's the thing here, genuineness. People love your genuineness. And they know that when you speak to them, when you compliment them, they take that to heart because they know that you're not just trying to flubby-dubby it, You're genuinely noticing something about them, and it makes them feel seen. It makes them feel heard. Another aspect here for what people love the most about you. There's a relaxing energy here. Purple is a very, very relaxing color to me. I feel like it's also a very spiritual color. It's associated with the crown chakra. I think people could say you're very wise, you're good at giving advice, you're able to see the details in issues and help put together practical solutions. And I also think that you're a good leader here too. I think people would look up to you and they understand that you're not just trying to help people for personal gain. You're genuinely concerned when people come to you with their issues or their problems and they want to help, or you want to help them. My bad. You're also a very trustworthy person, which is interesting because we had that with the eel card, that dishonesty notion where people were kind of talking about like how you got where you got, or how you, whatever, you know? So the people who genuinely love you, what they love the most about you is your honesty, is how trustworthy you are. Very interesting. That's why I'm like, when there's negatives with what people are saying about you or blah, 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 I'm like, disregard, because we should only care about the people that we love and what they're saying about us. So, interesting. Moving on. As far as what might be influencing the way people are perceiving you, we have the sun. The sun is our life force. The sun is warm. The sun also illuminates things that were hidden in the dark. Hidden in the dark. And it kind of goes back to this threshold here, like being hidden in the dark, being so focused on surviving or getting through this hard time, or, you know, dealing with these difficult emotions. The sun has risen in your life and it's shining on you right now. And I think people are seeing, oh, they were just hidden in the darkness. This is a diamond in the rough here, people. It could be the sun is illuminating something in your birth chart. At the time I'm filming this, the sun is in Capricorn. I don't know what it will be in whenever I post this. Hopefully Capricorn. I think you guys are stepping into more of a summer season, or more of a sunnier, warm, I'm hearing decade. So a whole decade of warmth and sunshine. You know, like people online, they'll say like, let him cook, let them cook. They are cooking right now. I feel like you spent all this time cooking and now the sun has risen and you're able to show off everything. And it's like, yeah, I was in the dark for that long, but I didn't use the darkness in vain. Like I really used the darkness to the best of my ability so that when the sun eventually shined, I could show off my cooking. If you are used to kind of being in the background, not considering yourself as a main character, or feeling like people just don't really see you accurately, those times are going out the window. And you might be a little surprised with how much influence you hold and how often people are going to start to want to be around you. It might be intimidating at first, not gonna lie. But just know that you are ready to reap the rewards that you have worked so hard towards. And it's time to accept the sun graciously and allow it to shine on you. It's your time to shine, literally. Anyway, we are now going to move into the tarot portion of your reading. This is a lot. There's a lot here, but we're just going to have a fun time with it. I am deciding to use the Shadowscapes Tarot today because I feel like I haven't used that in a very long time, actually. And I'm curious to use this deck. So, all right. We're just going to do current thoughts and feelings of family, friends, and lovers, and then strangers. Also, your work relations, so your bosses, your coworkers, etc. When I'm asking this, you can focus on a specific person and take the message from them as if it's coming from them, or it could just be general. So, okay, Pile one's family spirit guides. Feel free to focus on a person. Pile one's family. What are their current thoughts, feelings? Okay, we have the Hermit. Pile one's friends. Okay, that came out quick. We have the Queen of Swords reversed. Pile one's lovers or romantic interests. Oh, we have the Sun here, and it came out right on top of the Sun. And then strangers, spirit. Strangers who see pile one. Okay, we got two. We've got the Ace of Wands reverse and the Page of Pentacles. And then colleagues or work relations. How did they think and feel about pile one? Okay, Knight of Pentacles. This specific family member or family in general, whatever you asked, currently feels and thinks that you are blossoming and discovering a new life for yourself. And I think this came from isolation. I wonder if you guys have moved away from your family or you're no longer living at home with this family member. It is giving a little bit of long distance, just the way that this fairy in general is looking at the sun and holding the lantern. It just feels as if they're looking across the horizon at something they miss. I would say that this family member does miss you and thinks the time that you spend together is never wasted. I do think that this family member would say they have seen you grow and expand, and they've seen you fall and get back up and grow and expand, and they are incredibly proud of you. So proud. If you are feeling a little lonely right now, I think this family member would want you to know that you are never alone with them alive. They are one phone call away if you live closer, one stop away. You never intrude on their space. They never want you to think that, you annoy them or they don't want to be around you. There's also something about listening to your heart, following your heart's guidance. I think this family member or their higher self or your family in general know that you have a lot you want to accomplish in this world and know that it might be a bit of a lonelier path, especially if this is like the life that you want is something that is new to your family, like generational poverty, generational I don't know. I'm thinking of poverty right now. Like maybe you guys are breaking the generational curses. You're doing something new that the family has never done. And they know that this might be harder because, family won't exactly understand what you're going through or what you're trying to accomplish. But they know and have confidence in the fact that you can do it. Aw, and now I'm hearing that the Hannah Montana song, You'll Always Find Your Way Back Home. I used to scream that in my karaoke machine when I was like 6. Shout out the makers of the Hannah Montana movie. Such a banger. I also wonder if this family member is just feeling a bit of an emptiness right now, So maybe they would appreciate a phone call from you after you get done with this reading. I think they do see you a little bit as an introvert, someone who doesn't hang out with a whole bunch of people, but I think they know that you do this with purpose and intention. I feel like they have trust in you that you aren't going to put yourselves in situations that put you in danger or make you feel bad about yourself. They're very confident that you can handle whatever life throws at you. They just hope to be along for the ride if you let them. As far as your friends, if you, this could be a specific friend or just friends in general, we have Queen of Swords reverse, which gives me the idea that some of you have asked for a specific friend, because I don't think all your friends feel this way right now. If it is general, we'll just tackle general first. I think a lot of your friends have seen you isolate a little bit. or have seen you get really strict about boundaries. And that doesn't mean that they're envious or mad at you for setting boundaries. I think they've just noticed that you have really raised the bar for the expectations you have of yourself. Like an idea that I'm getting is you've stopped drinking, right? You've stopped going out with friends because you don't want to drink alcohol. And while it might be a change, your friends are still like, wow, okay, I recognize they're doing this for the good of them, not to, isolate themselves from me. I think your friends would recognize that you've gotten serious about your life. There's also, if you guys are like on the verge of a breakthrough and you're just working and working and working towards a goal, I think some of your friends would say that they've seen you kind of get a little bogged down, be a little stressed. I won't say that you're being mean, but maybe some of you have lashed out accidentally and had to, resolve a conflict there with a friendship. But I think they know that whatever decisions you're making fully thought out. They don't believe that these decisions or these changes are coming spontaneously. They know it's because you're cooking. As far as if it's a specific person, I wonder if you have gotten into an argument or a disagreement with a specific friend here that you're asking about. I think this specific friend is feeling like your friendship is a little bit unreliable, or they're feeling kind of left out. Or maybe they're even feeling a little attacked, whether that's what you did or didn't do. I don't feel like you're the type to just attack. But I do feel like this person feels a little bit attacked right now. Yeah, they're just feeling like a little neglected even, or maybe they're feeling hurt by a choice of words if you had an argument or something. Or maybe it's as simple as you set boundaries with this person and they're just not receiving it well, and I hope for great healing and love to be sent to them just as much as you, because that's hard. It's hard to receive news that, maybe you have, this friend in particular, you have distance yourself and you kind of told them why you're distancing yourself, whether it's an unhealthy relationship or what happened, I don't know. And this person, it's hard to hear that we have issues in relationships, and it's hard to hear that, maybe the person we really love doesn't feel the same, and having to reconcile with that and still, not put the blame on ourselves. I empathize with this friend, and I also empathize with you, because it's hard to be receiving that and it's hard to be delivering that message. Yeah, this is definitely a little bit heavier energy, but just know that the friends who respect and understand your boundaries, they respect and understand you. Simple as that. They might see you a little isolated right now, and maybe a little stressed out, but they don't take it as that big of a deal. They know you'll bounce back. As far as any lovers or romantic interests, this might be multiple people, or it could just be a specific person. No matter who it is, this is very, very positive. The sun is here. This person sees and feels like you are a shining light in their life. I think you're very warm. They interpret you as being very warm, very caring, very nurturing, very loving, and also just someone who brightens their day. You never fail to make this person smile. You never fail to make them feel like they're on top of the world. You're very good at boosting this person when they're down. They feel very good when they're around you, and they feel very adventurous. I wonder if you guys go on lots of adventures and lots of fun dates here. But whatever's going on in your love life, just know there's no ill feelings there. whoever you're seeing, they're having a very great time and they feel very comfortable and confident around you. How strangers view you. This is interesting. This is very interesting. So this is why I wonder if some of you guys are like creative or like you do service for people, or there are people who you don't know that consume your work, because I wonder if people noticed that you were kind of lacking creativity or lacking motivation there for a second, and now you're back with a spark. I think it's kind of broken up here too, because there's an energy of people who are strangers to you, but they support you. And then there's an energy of strangers who may just not support you or you know, and we'll talk about that. As far as the people who support you, who enjoy your company, or strangers who have had a very good time with you, they see you as very creative, very intelligent, also like very busy, very sporadic, very inspired. Like you get inspiration on a whim and you have to act on it. I wonder if this group has a little bit of ADHD. There are some people who, like strangers on the street, who see you maybe in passing, or maybe you're like marketing something and some strangers are like, wow, you know, that's a really good idea. That could really go somewhere. And then there are some strangers who are just like wanting to poop on other people's dreams. And to that I say, boo-hoo, who pooped on your dreams? Because that's probably what happened to make you act like that. There might be people who see you a bit as a novice at something, or someone just starting out in some sort of creative field, but they support the ideas that you have and think that they could really go somewhere. I think they just need a little, they feel like you might need a little more guidance, a little more learning, or a little more like planning out time. And then there are other strangers who feel like you're a little out of touch with things. You're a little not realistic about things. And that's all I'm going to say there, because again, I'm not trying to focus on the negative BS. I'm just there to let you know there are some people who are really supportive and other people who are not. And that's just how life goes. No one's ever going to have 100% of the world as their fans and cheerleaders. That's not how it works, unfortunately. As far as colleagues and work relations, your work colleagues see you kind of a bit as like an out-of-the-box person. I think they see you as very reliable, but also your methods are very different from the norm. They feel like they can trust you. They know you're going to get the job done, and you're working your way up towards whatever you're doing in work. But I feel like there's something out of the box, or something different that you do when it comes to work that, you know, it's different. It is not traditional, but it works. And there might be work colleagues who are kind of like, I don't know how that worked. I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you came to this conclusion, but it works. I would have that happen in math all the time. So I relate to this energy. Like whenever I was in school, I would never know how I came to the right answer, and my teachers would be baffled at how I did my work, but it would be right. And they'd be like, okay, this isn't technically right. I mean, it's right, but it's not right. How did you do this? And I'd be like, I don't know. Yeah, so I wonder if there's some non-conforming energy here. And maybe there's like a boss or someone at work who is like very stuck in the traditional ways, and they get on to you about that's not how we do things. But there are work colleagues who are like, oh, I'm going to take this chapter out of their book and apply it to me because this is actually easier, or this is new and exciting and it makes the work better. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there are some people who are kind of just like, that's not how we do things. And you're just kind of like, okay, but it works and it's better. Very interesting, fun energy. I do think that you're a bit of a hoot at work. Some people find your personality very charming and very funny, and not afraid to try new things. Not afraid to color outside of the lines, if you will, you know? Okay, so we are past 45 minutes in this reading and we're still not done. Told y'all it was going to be a big boy reading. I prepared for this. So we're going to move on to our final messages from Spirit. So this was actually the first oracle deck that I got. I had this and a cat tarot deck and a dream. And here we are now. But we are going to see a message from the universe to you. Message. Ooh, okay. I'm going to take two because two came out. We have light. Weave your spells by the light of the stars and listen to your inner voice. So that really talks about, remaining positive when things are kind of dark, and also listening to your intuition and knowing even whenever you can't see the outcome of something or you can't see where you're walking, just know that you're being led by light as long as you set that intention and listen to your inner voice about where you need to go. And it's interesting, it's kind of symbolic because it's like, our ancestors and our forefathers and everyone, who got our world to where it is today, it started out with listening to the stars, following the stars to get to a new place, believing that if you went far enough, you would find something. And that kind of gives me threshold energy too. It's like, you're on the verge of something great. Don't stop. Don't get worn down. Listen to that voice inside that tells you there is more coming, and that you just need to keep going. Keep following the stars. Wolf says, emphasize a deep connection with your intuition and instincts. Yeah. So I wonder if you guys have struggled with people, or maybe not struggled, but like there's voices from the past or self-confidence issues from the past that have been making you feel like, can I really break through this? Can I really do this? And your higher self really wants you to know that you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. And you have this instinct to keep going for a reason. You have this instinct to do this thing for a reason. Don't cut yourself short. Don't sell yourself out. Continue, and you will thrive. You will survive. I will survive. Anyway, okay, last message. I don't even know where the deck is, actually. So sorry, where is that deck? I have so many, I forgot what this one even looks like. I'm going on a hunt now. I found it. See, I have notes of like how I plan the reading out, and I'll just say which deck I'm using, and I sometimes forget what deck that is. Okay, so this is just advice from Spirit, from your wise animal body oracle. There's something wrong with me. I swear, like my brain just mushes words together, like amba body. Why did I say that? That's not a thing. Anyway, okay, Spirit, last message, advice from Spirit to pile 1. Last message and advice. Okay, we have authenticity, and I love this because it kind of matches the sun card here from the tarot deck we're using. Authenticity. This is beautiful. It's really about staying true to you, staying true to your beliefs, your values, and continuing to be authentically you and not allowing yourself to be silenced by people who want to keep you smaller or who want you to be less of yourself. Your authenticity is truly the thing that will push you outside of the limits, that will push you into a new life. Being you inspires others who also want to be themselves. The only people who will be dogging on any sort of authentic energy you put out there are the people who are they themselves not aligned in their authentic energy or scared to express their authentic energy. Who you are deserves a place in this world. Who you are deserves to be recognized. Do not let other people's shadows and other people's doubts plague your mind, because you are on the verge of something great. And it's almost like the more authentic you get, the more you are, and the more willing the more willing you are to shine that authenticity like the sun, like that fire you have inside, the more it'll propel you into what is truly best for you and what it is that you are truly aligned with. So, okay, pile one, this reading is almost an hour long. I hope you enjoyed. I hope we answered all the questions here about how you are perceived. If you enjoyed this reading, I would love it if you would leave me a comment, tell me what I got right, what I didn't. That's a sign. You must comment. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, you could also subscribe to join us here at Mellow Yellow, we're not Mellow Yellow anymore. We are Tarot Moods. Join us here at Tarot Moods for more videos like this in the future. And also you could give this video a like. It just helps the algorithm pick up my video and get more views for people who need to hear some things from this video. Anyway, without further ado, I hope you have a beautiful, blessed, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye, pile one. Hello, pile two. Thanks so much for joining me here today for this reading. Today, we'll be looking at how you are perceived by the general world. During our tarot portion, we'll be taking a deeper look into how your different relationships think and feel about you. That'll include people like your family, your friends, lovers, or romantic interests, also strangers, and lastly, your work relations and colleagues. If that sounds like a reading you'd like to hear, then great, you're at the right spot. Go ahead and grab yourself a drink and a snack, and let's go ahead and get started with the general overview from your oracle cards. The very first question we're looking at here is the current vibe you are giving off to the general world. This is being represented by the Castle. The Castle is a card that gives me a feeling of, quote unquote, this is true about me, but, and there's a big but here. There's a perception here from others of you being very beautiful, very physically attractive, or making self-care a priority in your life. The pearls on this card remind me of wealth or old money. And please keep in mind, we are only reading how others are perceiving you, which can be very different than how your lives actually are. I wouldn't be surprised if this pile has been told before that you could be a model, or maybe you do model, but there's an essence of beauty strongly highlighted here. And maybe this could frustrate you quite a bit. I'm thinking of this movie quote. At least I think it's from a movie. You'll have to tell me in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. It's like this prince or something, and there's a part where he tells this girl, "You're beautiful," and he's got stars in his eyes. He's completely infatuated with this woman, and she goes, "Thank you, but what else?" And he's kind of like, "What else?" And like questions her, and she goes, "Is beauty the only thing you care about?" It's something like that, and essentially it's just her being like, yes, I'm beautiful, but I have so many other qualities. I'm a person that's just as intricate and complex as everyone else. And I bring this up because I think people may see and recognize your beauty often, but almost to the detriment of your other talents and intelligence. And in the worst cases, maybe you've been boxed into this place where you've had to question people's intentions around you, whether that be the people that you date or even work relationships that may toe the line of what's appropriate with you. And I think this is where that but we're talking about really comes in. There's a lot of self-protection I see around you, and I think it's because you've been taken advantage of in the past, or people didn't appreciate the real you because they were just entranced by your beauty. However, you've realized that not everyone deserves to see the real you behind all that beauty. And just like that saying, People like to throw rocks at things that shine, and you shine, pile 2, because this isn't just about outward beauty. You've got such a loving heart, and it's big, and the people closest to you are really highlighting the love you hold and show to those you care about. You are someone who almost everyone would want around them, which makes it pretty difficult to figure out who you should allow into your energy. And I think that's why I'm seeing a wall around you. Think of a castle. A castle holds valuable things, and I'm just speaking generally, And a castle is usually seen being protected by guards, high walls, fences, etc. And you, pile 2, are no different. You recognize there are goods inside of you that you must protect. In the outside world, this may mean you don't respond to everyone's texts immediately, or emails or work collaboration offers. This may mean you have a purposeful resting bitch face, or maybe you're just incredibly shy with others. And I think depending on the person and how entitled they feel to your energy, there may be people here who take this act of protection extremely personal, and the result of that is projecting this notion that you're mean, you're selfish, or you're a B word, you know what I mean? And it truly says something more about them than you. Just going to put that out there. The last thing I'm picking up here is a tinge of sadness. I wonder if some of you are going through a bit of a difficult time right now, or there's been a lot of stress that is causing you to be a little more quiet and a little more reserved at this time. But that doesn't have to be for all of you. I'm going to go ahead and move on to our next question, which is, what part or parts of yourself do you show the world that most people see about you? We have the owl. Now, the owl is kind of echoing a lot of what we've already talked about, but something I didn't fully get into is this aspect of abundance and wealth. If you're having issues with money or abundance, there is a message here from your spirit guides that there's a big treasure coming your way. But bringing the focus back to what people see about you, I think they'd say that you're very good at seeing the trends of the world, for one, whether this is talking about the clothes you wear or predictions in what would be popular when it comes to what you do for work. You have a very good eye for things that are up and coming or the next new quote-unquote obsession. I think people see you as a trendsetter, and this could come from some sort of psychic ability if you believe in that. Maybe you feel like you can see things before they happen, and you've always had this skill. Definitely comes in handy, I'm sure. But another quality that is being highlighted is the trust people hold in you. You could be very reliable with work. Maybe you've become someone who a lot of people confide in, and you make sure that what they've shared stays private. Some of you could also be a sort of a coach or a teacher, and people really believe that you have their best interest at heart. I want to look at the current main talking point people have when it comes to you right now. And this is being represented by the moon. Now, there are a couple different talking points, and the first one, I'm assuming, comes from people who aren't very close to you. Those individuals really only talk about how it might be difficult to get to know you or difficult to get into your circle. They might say things like, wow, Pile 2 looks like they really have their ish together. I'm really inspired by them. I want to know their secrets to success. I want to copy how they're living their life. But it's really hard to see the behind the scenes. They would say things like, Pile 2 is really private. I wish I could know how they did this. Or even I wish I could pick Pile 2's brain about this project. They have a really great eye. A lot of these people are very complimentary of you when speaking of you, and they really just want to learn from you and see what life looks like from your perspective. The other group here would include people that are much closer to you and see more of your life than just the general public. And they would say things like, did you hear pile 2 is working on this? They're really onto something here. I can really see their vision. I can't wait to see the final product. And I do want to interject here. Are some of you applying for something or waiting to hear results back about something? Because I think while maybe you're experiencing a bit of anxiety around these results, a lot of these people already know that you've got it in the bag and can see a lot of greatness waiting for you very soon. There's a lot of big changes too. It's giving me this idea of, oh, they're definitely going to level up soon. Like maybe you're working somewhere that you're ready to leave because you're outgrowing what this place can offer you, and maybe even those people that you work with, they know it and they know they can't keep you around for much longer because you're just ready to move on and level up. I think we all have been here where we're like working with someone and you just know they're too good for the company or they're too talented. Like they need to move on and they deserve to move on. If you've shared any anxieties with people, I'm thinking of like 2 parents talking about it while you're not there, and they would say things like, oh, our pile 2 just needs to get out of their head and surrender to the fact that they're fit for whatever they want. They can truly accomplish whatever they want. They really just need to relax. But those are kind of the main talking points I'm picking up on. We'll definitely see a lot more from more specific people whenever we get into your tarot portion. I want to look at what people love the most about you, and that is being represented by the Airmid card. Sorry if I mispronounced this. Airmid. The first word I was getting from the energy of these cards is gentle, and I think that represents a gentleness you have with anyone or thing that you come into contact with. I think people love the way that you care and how kind you are. You really put thought into the way you treat others and how you treat yourself too. There's an air about you that breathes peace and serenity, very wise beyond your own years, your own energy, and it's very healing to be around you. I think you don't take things super personally, and that allows for others to show up as their more authentic self, and knowing that you hold space for whatever that looks like for them really helps people take off the heaviness of the world. You know, you're that type of person where your friends are just like, ugh, I know that pile 2 has my back. I know they're not stressing about whether I can do X, Y, and Z for them. I know if I have to rain check with them, they're going to accept it and they're just going to look forward to the next time we can hang out. It really helps relieve a lot of stress. I think you also have a way of bringing out other people's inner child because you are such a safe space. I also wonder, because this goddess is an herbal healer, I wonder if you are more plant-based or more spiritual when it comes to healing. Think of like herbal medicine, or maybe you're vegan or vegetarian. Maybe you do some gardening. There's a strong connection to the earth highlighted here. And maybe you're the type that, you make people pillows stuffed with natural flowers or herbs that helps people sleep. Like I'm speaking from my own experience, I had a teacher in high school, my French teacher, God bless her soul, that woman is a saint. I was going through some horrible traumatic things my freshman year of high school, and my French teacher was my confidant for a lot of this, and she knew that I was having so much trouble sleeping, and she made me this pillow that was full of like chamomile and lavender and other like sleep promoting herbs, and it just it helped so much. It was like a little hug from her wherever I went, and it was tiny so I could pack it wherever I went. It's such a great gift. Anyway, back on topic. Maybe you're ideal type of gift is like a plant, like gifting someone something that's alive, that they can take care of, or you take care of something for them. I also want to note, if you have a spouse that you cook for, they want to say that the food you make for them is really healing to their body. Like maybe they've noticed they're losing weight from the healthy foods you made without sacrificing their fullness or enjoyment of food. And they're just really, really thankful for all that you do for them. Last but not least, we're going to see if there's anything influencing people's current perspective of you. And we have the card Fixed. Now, Fixed to me shows that something really isn't moving. Something is stationed. And that tells me that people's current perspective of you is the way it is because it's how you've always shown up, or you've just been very consistent about how you show up. It's not something that's easily moved or swayed. So you've probably worked very, very hard on your reputation and how you're perceived. And I wouldn't say that outside sources or astrology can or really is influencing how you're perceived at this time. It's more just who you are and how people perceive that. Which is great to hear. It's great to hear that, putting focus on how you show up in the world and making it a strong value of yours is being received well. Like it's trust. Like a lot of people have trust in you. But now we've come to the end of our oracle portion. So we're going to move on to our more in-depth tarot. And as I go through each relationship, you can either set the intention to be a specific person, or you can just stick around for like a general look at multiple people per relationship. I promise it'll make sense. Just stand by and I'll walk you through it. I promise. So I'm just gonna shuffle a little bit. These cards are already like shuffled, but I just for peace of mind. The first relationship we're going to look at is family, their thoughts and feelings about you. So you can think of a specific family member that you want to hear from right now, or, just general family. So spirit guides, angels, ancestors of Pile 2, please be here with us. What are Pile 2's family's current thoughts and feelings about them? Okay. We have the Ten of Swords reversed. I'm going to go ahead and get all of the cards, and then we'll, go through each and everything. Next are friends, so general friendships or a specific person, if you have one in mind. What are Pile 2's? Okay. That one shot out. This is the Six of Pentacles reversed. Now, lovers or a romantic interest for Pile 2, thoughts and feelings. Oh, we have the Page of Cups. Now, let's see from strangers. Okay. We have two, and I feel called to take both of them. So the first one, we have the Four of Pentacles and the Empress. That definitely goes along with that, string of beauty that was following you guys. And lastly, colleagues and work relationships. We have the Two of Wands. Definitely know what that message is, but we'll save that for the end. Okay. I wonder if recently, kind of going back to that example about opening up to your family, or if you have a specific family member in mind, have you opened up about some sort of anxiety or some sort of pain or issue that you're dealing with? I'm also for some of you, I'm hearing physical things, is there a sickness you're dealing with right now, or just some sort of challenge in your life? I feel like your family members or member just wants to relieve whatever is causing suffering for you. And I think they see you going on the up and up here soon. if this is just anxiety about getting a job or getting whatever you've applied for, they definitely see you like achieving that, and they know that it feels like a big deal to you right now, but in the grand scheme of things, like, they just want you to relax because they know that you will achieve this. But if this is some sort of pain or suffering that you're going through right now, they really do want you to know that they will be there for you through thick and thin. They love you so much. I'm gonna cry now. Like, your family or this specific family member would go through HE double hockey sticks and back for you. They really know that you provide not only a great source of strength for them, but so much inspiration for them to be better and do better, and to it's really hard to describe the feeling that I have right now. It's just this intense just love, and they want to be a source of support for you. They want you to know that if they can control it, because obviously we can't control everything in our lives, but if they can control it, they will make sure to always be there for you, to always put you first, to always help you in whatever you're going through. And if you guys are going through something like financially right now, this family member or family in general want you to know that you can always call on them. You can always rely on them for a sense of support. The other messages I'm getting from this is like, they really want you to take a break. And I'm hearing Alexander Hamilton, there's a song called Take a Break. And it, at this point in the musical, Alexander is just like pushing and pushing and pushing and working and working and working. And Eliza, his wife, and Angelica, his sister-in-law, are like, please, let's go upstate. Let's go stay at this like house. Let's get away from all of the noise. And he's like, no, I have to be focused. I'm just hearing the line, take a break. It's like, this family is definitely urging you. While it's great to work hard, I think they would like to see you relax more and enjoy life more. They want to hear about you doing more fun things instead of just working all of the time, But they are stressing how proud they are of you. And yeah, they're just always going to be there for you no matter what. I also want to say, if you guys are far away from your family or family member that you're asking about, they want you to know that, yes, the distance is hard, but it doesn't change the love that they have for you, and it doesn't change anything about your relationship. And at the drop of the hat, if you needed anything, they would be there immediately. And I'm hearing distance, like, in this situation can't make the heart grow fonder, because my heart is already, like, it belongs to you. I love you no matter what. Okay, I'm gonna move on before I get too choked up. You have a very loving family here. For your friends or a friend, if you have one in mind, the Six of Pentacles reversed. I have a couple different messages here, so obviously take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You know the drill. There's a lot of like boundaries energy here, but in the sense of like, you give so much to your friends that they're like, are you taking care of yourself? Like, what can I give back to you? Like, do you need to retreat for a little bit? Because I can take care of myself. Like, that's what your friends are saying. Like, I can take care of myself. You don't have to be the mom friend. You don't have to constantly look out for me. You don't have to constantly be the one checking in. Like, it's okay for you to take breathers, to take space. I wonder if your friends, or if this is a specific friend, they know how much pressure you put on yourself to be reliable, to be that one that people can turn to, and they're just like, hey, if you're going through stuff, it's okay to like take a few steps back. Like, that's not gonna change our friendship. That's not gonna cause issues here. It's okay to take care of yourself first and foremost. I will be here because I love you and I respect you. And they just want you to know that, like, if you have any sort of people-pleasing tendencies, they understand that about you and they love that about you. Like, not that they love that you're just so focused on pleasing other people, but they love, I just want to highlight, they love you as a whole package between the things that you're great at and the things that you need to work on. But they do want to make sure that you're respecting yourself and respecting your needs and you're holding firm in your boundaries, whatever you need. They also want to know, like, can I help you in any way? You're so good at putting on this front of, like, I can take care of myself, I can do all of this. Is there any way that they can help you? I think you're really good at putting on this front of, being happy-go-lucky or having everything together. And some of your friends are just like, okay, I know there's gotta be times where Pile 2 needs someone. I know Pile 2 gets over their head sometimes. Like, I hope they know that I'm here for them and I love them and I support them. This also might be a message from your spirit guides too that I'm getting. Like, now might not be the time for you to disperse your energy towards other people. Like, you might need to focus that energy more on yourself over the next little bit. And they're just gently reminding you that you've done so much for others. It's time for you to allow yourself to receive. If you have a therapist or you do like shadow work journal prompts, you might want to talk with a therapist or journal with yourself about this restriction that you have of not wanting others to see you down or not wanting others to be burdened by you. And I want to say you are not a burden in any way, shape, or form to anyone in your life. But there is this sense of not wanting to be super vulnerable with the people around you when you're going through hard or tough times because you're scared. I don't know what it is that makes you scared, but I get it. It being vulnerable when you're going through a challenge is hard. Asking for things that you need is hard. Even recognizing that you need help is hard. So I think there's also a note here because on this card, this little fairy dude is playing, I guess, what would be in his world like a little trumpet or maybe a little windpipe instrument. I don't know. Because it's reversed, I'm seeing like all of these coins going back into his instrument instead of like falling out and raining down on this little seed that he planted. And I think that's symbolic of like all of the effort that you've put out with your friends or just in life in general is coming back to you, and you need to open up and receive that. But the other thing is like, is music a big talent for you? Is music something that you're getting into? Some of your friends are like, wow, like you should put yourself out there more with your music, or wow, you have a real talent with this. You could really go far with that. They can see you having a very great career in music, whatever that is for you. Now for your lovers or romantic interests. For some of you, I'm going to say like for singles, and then I'll talk about lovers. If you're single and you're ready to mingle, or maybe you are mingling with people, I want to say you have definitely caught the attention of one or more people, and these people are like ready to give it a try with you. If you are single and you're like, oh, I'm so lonely, just know that there are a plethora of people who are ready to date you at the drop of the hat. They're ready to give things a try. They're ready to wow you. They have little crushes. You have a lot of people who have crushes on you. If this is a specific person, this person definitely has very fond feelings of you. Also, because this is a mermaid on the card, going back to singing or like music in general, sirens, mermaids, are little sirens that lure people in with their music and their songs. And I just wonder if you guys really do have a talent for singing or music in general, and that's something that's very charming to this person about you. You could also take that if you are, in a committed partnership. But there's just something very alluring about you, something that makes people want to dive deeper underneath the surface and learn more about you. And she's also going back to your cooking, like she's holding this bowl, and it looks like she's smelling like a really nice stew or something, Your cooking is very, very good. There's also this energy of like, take your time. I will be here. Get whatever you need to do done. I will be here. I'm not waiting for you. I'm not, blah, blah, blah. That sounds wrong. I'm not, like, sitting by my phone anxiously waiting for you to talk to me. Like, I understand we're people. I understand that you have a life and you have goals. Like, do what you need to do. I'm here, and I will be here whenever you're ready. I also think if you're just single in general and you're like, I'm not dating, I don't know what to do, I don't know who you're talking about, just know that if you put yourself out there right now specifically, you would have a really good chance for a nice little love story to spark. So I wonder, because at the time that I'm filming this, Venus just entered Aries. I believe it's like right now, like it literally just went into Aries. So y'all could be having some good astrology aspects there with Venus and Aries that makes you a lot more seen, or a lot more people are attracted to you and want to hang out with you. So that would be a good time to get on the dating scene if you're interested in that. As far as lovers, I wonder if there's like a vacation or some sort of new commitment that you guys made together. This could, I honestly, I don't see this as getting engaged. I just feel it as like a rekindle in a relationship, especially if things got like a little stagnant there. Y'all just got really used to the ins and outs of life. Something like is being resparked here. There's a lot more passion in the air, a lot more sensitive feelings going on. Y'all could be getting a little bit more spicy as of recently. You're just feeling like very attracted to each other recently. I also think if you guys are in a committed relationship, because we have all these little fishies swimming around and kind of like looking here, I feel like this is showing us that a lot of people approve of your relationship or think you guys are very cute. They think that y'all are two peas in a pod, and I think this person would also agree. Like, you really do have their heart. You are the only person they have their attention on. And I think this person just really feels like a kid when they're around you. You make them happy. It's almost like you were the dream person that this person wanted when they were growing up, when they were kids, and they were fantasizing about the person that they want to spend their life with. Like, you just happen to be the manifestation of all of the qualities that they were looking for, which is really beautiful and it's really cute. I also want to say your partner finds you to be incredibly, incredibly attractive. Going back to that mermaid siren thing, it's not just about your talents, especially with music. Like, that body is tea. That face card never declines. Even when you're not feeling like yourself, or even when you're sick, this person thinks you are the bomb.com. I don't know what else I can say without getting demonetized, but I hope you're filling in the blanks. Moving on to strangers. I kind of already knew what this message was going to be before even like getting to this. We have the Empress, which, come on. People pass you in the street and they think, I mean, we've already said it, like you've got your ish together. You're very stunning, very beautiful, embodying divine feminine energy. You don't chase, you attract. You are very magnetic, very alluring, very pleasing on the eye. And same with the Four of Pentacles. Like the Four of Pentacles is kind of holding and guarding onto the things you value and protecting strongly the things that you value. This dragon is curling his biggest coin, and I'm seeing that as kind of the heart that we were talking about earlier. Your big heart, your big loving heart. People can tell that you're not just someone who is gonna lay all your cards out on the table the first time you're talking to someone, You seem like someone who knows what they value and is very fierce and protective over the things that you value. I also want to say, like, there's an energy of protection too. Like, not only do you protect yourself, but you're protective over the things that you care about. I wonder if there are certain causes or like activism that you do, especially if you're like vegan or vegetarian. I could see you definitely doing a lot of activism for animals or animal cruelty. Any organizations that you are a part of. Strangers on the street respect that if they see you, peacefully protesting or standing up for the right thing. People see you as someone who does the right thing because you genuinely care about it. Now, the thing that I've been wanting to talk about, the Two of Wands here for your work or colleagues. I wonder if you guys are facing two options, or you will be facing two options in the future, and it could have to do with a better opportunity with where you're at now, like the current job that you hold now, like getting a promotion or a raise or something, versus like an opportunity to expand and grow and to move on. The Two of Wands is really like looking over the horizon, looking at your options, looking at the journey you're about to take, and kind of deciding, mapping out how you're going to do this, where you want to go. And I feel like there might be like a boss or two or a company, like higher ups, kind of seeing that you're ready to branch out, but they really appreciate the work you do and they know that you're valuable to the team. And so you might be offered some sort of raise or promotion in the future that you either are aware about now or you're about to become aware about. But this has kind of been a scheme like in the background of trying to keep you around. But there is a huge opportunity coming to you soon to leave or to expand in a different direction. And it's interesting because I see on this card, like, obviously we have the Two Wands, but it looks like only one animal is faced towards the back or towards the different option. It's this little, I think it's a Siamese cat, and there's two of them here. Like, one is looking towards the future, the other one is looking back. But all these animals are looking forward, and we could argue that they're looking towards the direction of the wand with the red flag here. And even the wind is like kind of split in two. The wind is both blowing this person's headband towards the back, but then it's blowing the ribbon on the wand towards the front. And I think this is like, in your heart that you're ready for something new, you're ready to take a risk even, or you're ready to see what the universe can bring you and experience something out of your comfort zone. But then there are little parts of you that are kind of like, well, should I stick with what I've always known? Should I stick with this? This is a good opportunity too. I don't know what this option could lead to, but I know if I stay here, it's just the same old, blah, 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 blah. And honestly, only you can make that decision for yourself. I do think, however, just based on these cards, a big portion of yourself is ready to move on. But I can't make that decision for you. But I think a lot of your work colleagues too, they would say like, get out, go, move on. We will be able to handle ourselves. If you're worried about what leaving a certain position would mean for your coworkers or your team that you've gotten to love and know, they're saying, yeah, we'll miss you. Yeah, we'll definitely have to call or like catch up every now and then, but you got to do what's great for you. You got to put yourself first, and you are too good for this place. There is so much more waiting for you out there, and you're ready. Your colleagues see you as someone who's ready, who's put in the work, and they would feel ashamed if they tried to sway you to stay for selfish reasons. But they obviously want you to do what feels the most comfortable for you, whether that's stay or go. But definitely your boss, I think, is being represented by the two aspects of this card that are pointing towards the past, or like staying where you are. Your boss and the company in general just kind of wants you to stay here, and it is an option. The universe is saying this is an option, but it has to come from you. So, I'm going to put these cards up here. We are going into the final messages from Spirit. These piles have been long so far, okay? I know I'm gearing up for a very long boy, but I wanted it to be in depth. So, yeah. Anyway, final message from Spirit. We are going to first use this Oracle card deck. There's not a whole bunch in here. This was like the first deck that I got. One of the first deck I had a tarot deck, and then this Oracle card deck. So throwing it back. But we're going to see a general message from the universe to you. We have the Deer. Bring gentleness and grace in every aspect of your life. I think this is Spirit or the universe saying, don't ever lose that innocent quality about yourself. Don't lose the parts of you that make you you. And it is that sweetness, that gentleness, that love and appreciation for the small and large creatures in life. And I also think you're at a place where you're really good at keeping your cool. And I think Spirit is saying this is definitely going to help you as you move up in life, as you expand in life, the roles that you're wishing to pursue. Keeping a level head and thinking before you speak, or pausing, having a moment to breathe before taking action is definitely going to come in handy. So don't lose that aspect. You might be tempted to make quick decisions or think on your feet, but always allow yourself the time and like a breather. A breather would be good to really center yourself before you make a big decision. Now, we have advice from Spirit with the Animal Bodies Oracle. All of these decks that I'm using will be listed in the description down below. Okay. We have Rove. I don't think I've ever pulled this card before, so I'm going to see what this means. So this card talks all about how animals like wolves, lions, cougars, tigers, etc., even bears, honestly, like they just wander into the wild. They don't just sit in one area. They hunt, they go out, they explore. And I think your advice from Spirit is when you're feeling stuck, when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you don't know what to do, if you can make time for yourself, like 30 minutes even, maybe even 10 minutes, to just go on a walk, maybe even a run if you're a runner, girly boy, like whoever whatever type you are, if you're a walker or a runner, just going out into nature and allowing your feet to guide you wherever they want to go, allowing your animal instinct to kind of take over and to take you out of the stress, out of the feelingness of being stuck, and allowing yourself to move and to see different parts of the world around you and then take in what's out there. It'll really help calm your nerves, but it will also remind you that there is so much more going on around us than what we are currently focusing on. And what we are currently focusing on doesn't have to be the end-all be-all. We can move, we can get away out of a stuck situation, and we don't have to be in one place 24/7, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. I don't know. I've been talking for like an hour plus here, so doing my best here. But yeah, your general advice is to just go on a walk, notice the world around you, and see what information you can gather from a walk in nature. And don't put pressure on it either. Just be open to the insights you yourself gain from the world around you. You might find a solution to what you feel stuck about. You might find that you're putting pressure that doesn't really need to be there. Okay, pile 2, thank you so much for being here with me today for this reading. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got everything you wanted from this reading and more. Feel free to give me a like. That's a really great way to support my channel and to help spread these messages and my channel in general. You could also subscribe if you want to join us here for more readings in the future on tarot modes. You could also comment. I love reading comments. I love hearing about everyone's individual experiences and what resonated and what didn't. But I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye, Pile 2. Hello, Pile 3. It is 1:30 a.m. as I am recording this, and the piles have been long, boys, today. This video is going to be long. Get ready to strap in. Anyway, thanks so much for joining me here today for this reading. Today we will be looking at how you are perceived by the general world. During our tarot portion, we'll be taking a deeper look into how your different relationships think and feel about you. That will include relationships like family, friends, lovers, strangers, and lastly, work relationships and colleagues. If that sounds like a reading you'd like to hear, then grab a drink and a snack. Maybe put this on as a podcast, watch it at 2x speed. I don't care. As long as you're here with me, that's all that matters. Let's go ahead and get started with a general overview from your oracle cards. The very first question we're looking at here is the current vibe you are giving off to the general world. For you, this is represented by the Anima Mundi card. Anima Mundi. I do want to say that this is the last card of the deck, which to me is very significant to the energy of this pile. In a lot of ways, I think you, Pile 3, give off a lot of old soul energy to the world. This comes with a lot of inherent wisdom about the world around you and a maturity that allows you to see the bigger picture in life. People generally see you as very intelligent and knowledgeable about, honestly, whatever you talk about. And I think this is because you're viewed as someone who's trustworthy. People see you as someone who has really done the work to learn the ins and outs of the topics that you're passionate about. I could easily see this group in a teaching position or an authority position, but of course, if you're in neither of those professions, that's okay. I think you should know, though, that the general world sees that you could be very skilled in a position like that. There are a lot of eyes on this card, which is giving this all-seeing energy. So I believe that a lot of people know it's not easy to pull a fast one on you. You're very intelligent. You pay attention. This group pays attention. They feel like you can really see the intentions behind people, and this may have caused issues for you in the past. For example, some people who might not have had the best intentions for you could have tried gaslighting you a lot in the past when you'd call them out for the things that they were doing or saying. And in the past, that might have caused a lot of internal struggle with trusting your intuition. But I think as you've honed this skill, you've only increased this ability. And it's made you more sure of yourself and strong in yourself. Nowadays, this might intimidate people. Your eyes have a very specific gaze that makes people feel like you're reading into them. And for people who don't want to be seen, this might make them a little uncomfortable. Not saying that you do this intentionally or that it's wrong. It's just something that happens, you know? You're also seen as someone who's incredibly tuned into your spiritual beliefs, whatever that is for you. Generally, most people feel like your highest intention is to spread light and love to the universe, including all creatures and life that inhabit it. There's an innate understanding of this quote, like, the trees need us just as much as we need them, for lack of a better phrase. I think this is because people feel like you are the type of person to give the shirt off of your back to someone if it meant they wouldn't be cold. You're seen as someone very kind and loving, someone who a lot of people admire and look up to. There's a big feeling here that you set great examples for people to follow, and you challenge, in a healthy way, growth for a lot who come into contact with you. You're also seen as someone who doesn't take things personally. You recognize people's actions and behavior as just the product of what they're going through, what they're taught, and what's important for them. It's very interesting. There's a lot of respect held for you, where people view you and see you as someone who's deserving of a lot of respect here. But I am kind of hitting a wall with this card specifically, so I kind of want to move on to the next one. We have the Cobra here, and this represents the parts of yourself that you share with the world and how it's interpreted. I can't help but feel that you have this perfect balance of lying in wait and then striking when it's right. There's a deadliness to your strikes, just like a cobra, and people see that when you really go after something, you will accomplish it. And you do. You will do it with high expertise and patience. I think this also applies to telling people off in a way or standing up for yourself. You know how to stand your ground, and people see that you have a lot of heat behind your words. Your bark is just as strong as your bite. And this is a blessing and a curse. I think that's why you really focus on balance and knowing when to pick and choose your battles. This heat could have gotten you in trouble when you were younger, or if you have family members that have seen you grow, they know a lot of these battles you had when you were younger could have come from protecting your ego or this energy of trying to win, and now they see you've shifted that focus towards using your fire as motivation for what's actually important. I also want to say, if you're a student in any way, your teachers, trainers, or gurus see you as someone very, very talented and someone with a big purpose or future ahead of you. There's a side message here from your spirit team that if you've been wanting feedback or a teacher to take more notice on you, you will start to see them do just that. And this is happening because some sort of shift in your focus is occurring. You've changed in a way that allows them to see you differently than before. Your talents are really on display right now, and they want to help you foster that to your fullest potential. As far as the main talking point around you right now, we have the white dress. This card says appearances, society, and gender. Have y'all been focusing on changing your appearance recently? This could be things like working out, changing your hair, dressing differently, etc. If you have, you need to know that a lot of people have noticed and you're looking bomb.com recently. You may also be getting a lot more attention because of these changes too. If I were to talk as these people, this is kind of what they'd say. They'd say, have you noticed pile 3 recently? They have a glow around them. I can really tell that they're taking care of themselves and prioritizing their health. The way they've been dressing looks so unique and really encapsulates their personality. I can't help but be inspired by the changes that they're making. Another note I want to touch on, this might be only for a small percent of you, but I did want to include that if you're experimenting or changing anything surrounding your gender identity at this time, there may be people speaking about that too. And I think they're noticing how much more confidence you've gained from this experience. They're really noticing you coming into your own recently, and they are so proud of you for being authentically you. But going back to having more attention on you from society, if you've been putting yourself out there in the public eye with like a business, content creation, or just sharing some sort of creative outlet, people are really seeing that this could go far for you. I think people talk about how good your ideas are. Your attention to detail is superb. And the care you put into whatever it is that you're sharing really highlights the love and care you put into it. If you're sitting here and you're like, I have no clue what you're talking about, no one buys my stuff, no one sees my content, I want you to know that this might actually start changing for you pretty rapidly. And it's because you're starting to find a flair to your work that marks it as distinctly yours, and it makes it stand out from the crowd. You have a different way about going about your creations, and it may seem odd, but it works for you, and the people who receive your work or watch it see how much detail you put into it. There's a heart and a soul that can't be replicated, and it helps to draw people in and have people stay. So don't be doubtful about whatever you're working on, whatever you're pursuing at this time, because all of the things that you're sitting here thinking, oh, I'm different in this way, and that'll make people not like me, or, oh, I do this, and that's, out of the blue, and no way people are going to think this is working. If you're ensuing doubt in yourself, just know it's so far from the truth. To be different is to be cool. There, I said it. And I actually, because I'm working on things in my personal life, and I was watching a video, and the message kind of stood out to me, and I feel like you could relate to it, or it could help give you a sense of ease. Obviously, I am not 13, but the video was this 13-year-old girl working on auditions and whatever, and the director or whoever was working with her, the teacher, was like, how old are you? And she goes, I'm 13. And the director goes, oh, being 13 is the worst. You want to know why? And she's like, why? And this director goes, because at 13, you finally have the sense to doubt yourself and to doubt your work. And I was like, wow, you know what? Yeah. When did all these issues of self-doubt start? Started at 13. And self-doubt is so limiting for all of our goals and aspirations. I want you to, this is just like spirit coming through now, I want you to think about what you would be doing if you didn't allow the self-doubt to win or to even be a thing. If you were just blindly delusional and thought that, as long as you're not hurting anyone and you're putting your all into whatever it is that you want and you're putting your uniqueness out there, if you didn't have self-doubt, what would that look like? What would that feel like? Go out there and do it. because eventually it's going to be seen and recognized as art and beauty and something that can't be replicated. You know, people might want to replicate it, but you can't replicate the OG, baby. Anyway, tangent over. As for what people love the most about you, we have ametrine. This talks about habits and breaking the chains of the past or removing things that aren't healthy for you. This, again, is just for those that resonate with this specific message. If you, or some of you have struggled with an addiction to something in the past and you're now clean from that addiction, or you're working on healthier habits and working to remove yourself from this addiction, the people who love you are so proud of you and the effort that you've put in to change your life. They love your strength and resilience to face challenges head on and push through the hardest parts of life towards love and light. I also think it's important to note that people love how you motivate them when they're facing hard times too. If you guys don't do any sort of motivational speaking, many people who love you think you'd be excellent at it. You're also very protective over the things and people you love, and your loved ones know you'd do absolutely anything for them at the drop of the hat, and they want you to know that they value you so very much. When it comes to what might be influencing people's perception of you at this time, we have the waning crescent. This talks all about using what you have to make magic happen when you really don't have a lot. I feel as though you guys have faced a lot of challenges in your life that may have held you back from a lot of the goals that you have. But through challenges, you've made it work. It made you stronger, whether you wanted it to or not. It made you wiser. Some of you could also be doing really well in life right now, or you're feeling like things are starting to get back on track. Your life story and your character really speak to people. I think many are cutting you more slack recently, not because you can't rise to a challenge that you may come about, but they're seeing that you are truly doing the best that you can right now. An example I have is like, if you're in school or work and you've had a teacher or authority figure that has been really hard on you, but recently you've noticed they've been a lot more complimentary of you and your work, or they might even be giving you special opportunities recently, and you're kind of like, where is this change coming from? It might be because they've heard about something you're going through and they relate to your struggle. I'm even seeing an image of the Grinch where his heart grows 3 times as big. If this person hasn't been through your struggle, it's like knowing you and knowing your story has really helped them develop a much larger heart and more empathy for people. They're like, oh wow, maybe I don't have to be this cutthroat teacher, People are seeing you through a lens that says something like, Pile 3 is not the type to make excuses, even though they have extremely valid excuses. Yeah, maybe sometimes they're a little unorthodox or quirky, but they're still blowing all these other competitors out of the water despite having the least amount of resources or the most stacked against them right now. People don't want to put all this unnecessary attention on your flaws anymore, because they have a much deeper understanding of you as a whole. So I wonder if you guys have opened up about struggles, or kind of word got out about certain circumstances, and people are like, oh wow, that really makes me see them in a different light now. But we've come to the end of our oracle portion, so we're going to go ahead and move on to our more in-depth tarot portion. As I go through each relationship, you can either set the intention to be a specific person, or you can just stick around for a general look at multiple people per relationship. I promise it'll make sense. Just stand by. I'll walk you through it. Let's go. All right, so pile 3. We are now getting into the tarot portion. These cards have been shuffled, but I'm just going to shuffle it one more time just for safekeeping. So we're going to go into all of these different relationships. You can either think of someone specific, like that you have a relationship with. So for example, for the very first question, we're going to be looking at family. So you can either just set the intention for this to be a general family member, like just general how your family feels about you, any thoughts they want to share. Or if you have a specific family member in mind, you can also channel them as well, or set the intention to hear messages from them. So spirit guides for pile 3 is family. What are their thoughts and feelings? Okay, so we have 2 coming out right now. We have the 8 of Wands and the King of Pentacles. All right, next we're going to move on to friends. So same deal, channel a specific friend or just friends in general. So pile 3 is friends. Okay, we have the King of Wands in reverse. Then lovers or romantic interests. Pile 3 is love. Okay. We have the Page of Cups reversed. Okay. And then strangers. What do strangers think about? Okay, that came out real quick. We have the Page of Pentacles. And then colleagues and work relations. Colleagues. Okay. We have quite a few, actually. We have the Queen of Wands, the Ten of Swords reversed, and the Magician reversed. This family member, or your family in general, whichever you chose to hear from, they believe that you have the potential to become a great leader. If you're not already like in a position of power, they see you doing really well in that, kind of like what we already talked about earlier with the energy check. But I think this family member thinks that you will go very, very far and you have the potential to gain a massive following. And I also feel this pride energy coming through, almost like do some of you guys have family members that are passing down something to you whenever they pass on? Not saying that that's happening anytime soon, but if you know that you're going to be inheriting something valuable from them, or you're inheriting like a business or a house or something, like a legacy, this family member or your family in general know that you are the best hands to place this in, because they know that you will put all of the right energy towards this thing. It's hard to describe. It's like they have full faith and trust in you being able to do the right thing with whatever it is that you will be inheriting. And there's a lot of pride here. I wonder if some of you have gone a lot farther than what your family were able to do, or you've experienced a lot of things that your family wasn't able to experience. And they're just really proud of you for finding the strength inside to push yourself farther. And there's also a message here of like creating a legacy with your family name. Some of you guys could be the first people in your family to reach a certain level of fame, or to reach a certain monetary like tax bracket, if you like a certain class, like or even first generation accomplishment. There's a lot of light shining on you right now from your family or from this family member, and a lot of encouragement that their spirit is putting onto you. You have, actually, I think a better way to say this is you don't only have to rely on your own hopes, prayers, and effort. It's like this family member or your family in general constantly pray for you or constantly wish great things to happen to you. There's this notion of like they know and they stand firm in the knowledge that you can and you will accomplish what it is that you set out to do, that you can accomplish whatever your dreams are. And I wonder if this family member, it's like I have an energy of a family member like chuckling around me right now, and they're kind of just like shaking their head and laughing. They're just like, it's a specific visual of this family member laughing and joking and being like, I don't know where pile 3 got these blessings, or maybe not blessings. I don't know where pile 3 got these talents. I don't know where pile 3 acquired this energy from, but I'm so glad that they were blessed with it, because if there's anyone who can get the job done, it's pile 3. It's really sweet. And going back to like first generation accomplishments, if some of you guys have family members who are immigrants, or just family members who had a lot of circumstances stacked against them and they really had to work hard for very little return, they might have internalized this notion of, oh, I'm not good enough, or I have to put my dreams on the back burner because it's just never going to happen for me. And they want you to know that nothing gives them more joy than seeing you succeed. Nothing makes them happier than seeing you do better. Wow, I'm gonna cry. Nothing makes them feel more fulfilled in this life than seeing you achieve more than them and live a greater life than they have or they will. And they feel so blessed to have brought you into this world and to have gotten you as far as they could. And then to see you take all that they have given you and use it for good and make your life into something. They are so proud of you, and they can't express enough about how they really want to get across this fact that they would not have wished for anyone different to be a part of their lineage. They feel so blessed to have your soul a part of their family. Wow. And they wouldn't ask for anything to be any other way. If you ever get down and out about yourself, about your failures or perceived failures or a lack of accomplishments, whatever you get down and out about yourself, this family member or the family in general, like, they see you, and they see you in all of who you are and what you bring to the table. And no faults of your own could ever overshadow the greatness and goodness that you hold and the love that they have for you. This is true unconditional love they have for you. And they're so proud of the demons you've slayed and the efforts you've put towards achieving better in this life. There is also a message here of your family. I wonder if it's like a higher self of a specific family member, or just the energy of the family in general, like a higher view of, I'm seeing on this 8 of Wands card, all of these little, what are they called? The dandelion, when a dandelion turns all white and like floofy with the seeds and stuff? I forget what those are called. I think they're just called dandelions. I don't know. Correct me in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. But there's multiple of these that are being blown into the air. And whenever you blow or on a dandelion with all of those seeds, you're supposed to make a wish, right? And I wonder if, even if you have like family members on the other side, it's like a lot of wishes that you have are going to be coming true soon. And it's not just going to be one and then you have to wait a little bit, and then one and you have to wait a little bit. It's like you are gaining multiple wishes here soon. And I think you've had a lot of help from the spiritual side, whether that be passed on loved ones, passed on family members, or just the spiritual higher self of family members that are still here, putting that energy out for you and praying for you. You have a lot of help on your side and a lot of great things coming to you. And I think their message to you is to stand tall be brave, take rests when you know you need to, take care of yourself. But hold on strongly to your roots, because this King of Pentacles, half of his body is engulfed in this tree trunk. And he's standing very tall. And a tree's roots go very deep. I think they're saying you have a long lineage that hear you, that protect you, that you can call upon if you need help or if you need guidance. And to not be afraid to rely on your family whenever you need help. And to remember the things that they've taught you. That's another important message. So I'm going to move on to your friends. I feel like this is a very, very specific message. And it might be a little hard to hear. That's why I feel like this is really coming from like a specific friend in your friend group. I'm sorry that this isn't a general friends. Obviously, this isn't meant to be how all of your friends feel about you right now or what they're thinking about you. This is just a very specific message that is coming through. One of your friends is coming through to warn you about getting too involved in the material and the pursuit of whatever it is you're going after. And they are worried that they see you taking a trend towards selfishness or egoic tendencies. And you can, of course, choose to, like, if you know who this message is coming from, you can skip it if you don't, like, associate with this person or if you don't agree with this person. But there's a specific energy here coming through saying that, I don't know, they're just kind of seeing you in a different light these days. And it could be one of those messages where it's just like, oh, you've had a falling out with this person and you've changed, The one thing that I will say is a good message coming from this person, because I'm making it a goal of mine to focus more on positive things. I think this person would definitely agree with the notion that your work is paying off. And you are a very hard worker. You are very skilled at what you do, and you are becoming very great at your passions. You are learning extremely fast. You could also be an excellent writer. I don't know why I'm getting that. Like a quick tongue, quick on their feet, a great problem solver. But I wonder if there's like other aspects where this friend is feeling a little left out or a little like pushed to the side because of your pursuit of other aspects of life, if that makes sense. Or they're worried that they see you falling into a trap that isn't you. And that doesn't always have to be like ego and blah, 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 blah. Maybe it's going back to like an addiction you might be struggling with. Are you addicted to drinking or drugs or whatever? I don't really know the energy. I'm going to pull a clarifier actually, because I'm feeling pretty confused here. Can you clarify the King of Wands reversed for us? Seven of Swords. There's something that you're highly protective over, like something that you are so focused on right now. And I wonder if this friend is just very, okay, I'm getting this message, and I'm going to move on from this energy pretty quickly, just because I don't really like this energy. I wonder if there is a person who sees you working extremely hard towards something or even towards changing your life or something. An example coming to my mind is if you've been stepping away from partying to focus more on your health. And this can stand for a range of topics. If there's something that you've got a very focused eye on right now, and you're not letting anything stand in the way of that, I feel like this friend is a little jealous of the attention you're putting on this thing rather than the relationship, which is an interesting energy. The positives here is they admire the strength that you have towards protecting this, but they also feel a sense of entitlement right now towards your energy, or I don't really know what else I want to say about this. But let's make sure we're also focusing on the goods here. I want to see general friendships spirit, because I feel that was a weird message. General friendships for pile 3. We've got the Page of Swords, and that kind of talks about what we were already talking about with the positive qualities here. Going back to an excellent writer, a lot of your friends could also be saying that they're very grateful for the support you do give them when you have the time. The words you speak, the words of encouragement, how we were kind of talking about how you'd be an excellent motivational speaker. I feel like the words of encouragement that you give friends whenever you have the time really do impact them, and it really helps them in ways that you might not always see. And I also think there's a message here of let the past friendships who either don't agree with the path that you're taking now, as long as it's healthy towards you and you're not harming anyone or you're not harming yourself, as long as the path you are on and you know that the path you are on is for your greatest good and for humanity's greatest good, I think it's time to let go of the perceptions of people who you were close to in the past, because I think they might still enjoy what you used to be doing together. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not here to shame or blame. I just think you are shifting into a new you, and a new group of friends is definitely here. They definitely support you. You could be calling in different soul family members. It's definitely giving me some of these friends were there for a season, maybe even a reason, but that reason has come and go. And you're on a different path, and it's okay. There's no reason to shame yourself. There's no reason to shame others. Change is just occurring. And it's okay to change. The people that are on the path that you're on now will be coming in, and you'll be mingling with them. You'll form some great friendships. And, the ones that get it. The ones that don't. And that's okay. No shame, no blame. We send love to everyone. Everyone's on their own path. And, maybe this other person, it's not their time to see things from your perspective, or maybe it's just not a part of their path to shift into the path that you're going down, But just know that you're not doing anything wrong, and to keep pursuing what fills your cup up, and to keep surrounding yourself with people who make you feel better about yourself. And always try to be the best you that you can be. And don't rely on the approval from others, because I think right now there's a lot of shifts and changes in your friends, your friendships and your friend group that you associate with. And it's okay to change. It's okay to change. We're going to move on, because that was some heavy energy, but hey, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I will read what the cards say. I'm not going to dilly-dally. For your lovers or romantic interests, we have the Page of Cups reversed. Now, I'm going to talk first about those of you who are in committed partnerships. I wonder if you guys have had a recent like argument or a falling out, or maybe even a break, something, it feels like the passions aren't really there right now. And that doesn't mean it's going to last forever. And I mean, this doesn't have to mean all of your relationships are doomed to fail. No, it's okay to have lulls every now and then. It doesn't mean that a relationship is doomed. I just think, especially if you guys have been focused on one area of your life, other relationships or other areas might have slowed down. You hear this all the time in, couples who get married or have kids. Before having kids, their intimate life was a lot better, and then you have a couple kids, you get so consumed with work and responsibilities and raising children that, you get in bed at the end of the day, and after 2 minutes it's lights out because you're exhausted. So this could just mean like a resurgence of passion is needed here. Maybe a little bit more focus on date nights or quality time together. Something to help remind you too of why you guys got together in the first place. I think that's something that is being highlighted here strongly right now. For some of you, it could mean like kind of what we said in the beginning. Some of you guys are feeling at a standstill in your relationship. You're not sure where to go, which way to go, whether you can get past this. I will say, because this is a Cups card, that love is always going to be there. So if you're questioning whether this person loves you or has genuine feelings for you, I will say yes. There are genuine feelings here. It's just kind of lackluster right now, and it's kind of at a standstill, and this energy isn't sure how to progress at this moment. And I will remind you guys, it always takes two to make a relationship work. So if you hear this message and you're like, I've been trying to reignite the passion, but this other person isn't like budging, they're not opening up with me, don't take that too personally, because it also comes down to them making the effort as well. And you can't blame yourself for a relationship going a little sour if the other person also isn't, reciprocating energy there. But I do think it's important for you to know that for the majority of you listening, it's important for you to know that the love here can be rekindled, the spark can be reignited, not all hope is lost. It's just a lull point right now, and it's okay, it's normal, and you can come out of it. For those of you who are single / just dating around, I wonder if there's someone specifically who's a little bummed out about you right now, or maybe you're a little bummed out about someone right now, especially if you're, just casually dating. It's very common for people to meet someone, go on a few dates with them, and then the other person something comes up, things don't work out, and we're a little bummed about that. So whether you're in that position or someone's in that position about you, I think it's just important to remind yourself that connection can't be forced, and the right circumstances sometimes really do dictate whether a relationship can work out or not, We hear it all the time, like some people argue that if it were a different time, things would work out, or others may argue that the right person will find time. And I think there are true aspects to both of those arguments. If you are the person who feels kind of left out in the cold by someone, I think you should know that it wasn't because they didn't like you or they weren't attracted to you. Honestly, I think they still have like little crush feelings for you, but it's almost like there are outside circumstances that are pulling this person's attention away, or they can't fully put their focus on you right now. This person doesn't want to get into a big commitment and set it off on the wrong foundation. This person really likes having a good foundation for things to grow, and I think they have made the wise decision in their mind of like, okay, this isn't the right foundation. I do think they value a friendship with you though, and they still hold special feelings for you in their heart. And maybe in the future, if things change, circumstances shift, I think they'd totally be down to go on a few more dates and get to know you more. But I think this person is making the wise decision to step back for a bit. And it's not that you've done anything or anything like that. If you're the person who's stepped away, though, I think this person feels a little confused. They might be more in their emotions now. They might be questioning a lot of things at this moment, questioning if they could have done things differently, questioning a lot of like, why did this have to happen? They honestly might be catastrophizing things a lot more than what reality actually is. And I also wonder if this person is seeking outside sources to try and understand more. So if you're hearing about this person like talking to your friends or whatever, talking to mutual acquaintances about this situation, it truly is because they care and they're trying to find closure for themselves. And whether you've given them closure or not, do what you believe is right. I think everyone just has their own process of acceptance and letting things go when it comes to love. But do know that this person does care about you. And yeah, when it comes to strangers, there's an interesting message here of like strangers being oddly intrigued about what you're doing. They see you in public and they're like, of course, it's not polite to stare, but one can't take their eyes off of a star. No, I'm not saying like everyone thinks you're a star, but I think there's a weird magnetic quality about you. I wonder if you dress up in public or like, I don't know, you just have little quirks that make you stand out when you're in public. I think people kind of look at you and they're like, what is that person doing? Or, I wonder what they do for a living. I wonder what their life is like. A lot of curiosity about you, for sure. And I think people see you as quite youthful. Whether these people think that you just have a younger looking appearance or you just have like that young bright light in your eyes still, whether you're older or not. If you have a lot of people that come up to you when you're out in public or try to spark up a conversation with you, it's because like of this curiosity. Like there's genuine curiosity about you. And I don't know what it is. This little fairy girl is holding like a orb of light. So I wonder if you just you do something interesting in public. Like I live in New Orleans, so we have street performers and all this stuff. So, I don't know if you do some sort of public performing, and people recognize you and they just want to learn more about you. Or maybe you're just a little quirky, and people are like, I want to get to know that strange, intriguing person. Strange is a good adjective, okay? Don't get on my horse, okay? Strange is a good adjective. As far as colleagues and work relationships, y'all got the Queen of Wands, the Ten of Swords reversed, and the Magician. The first message I'm getting here is like, y'all have so much doubt about your abilities and about your performance that doesn't need to be there. And I think people at work see you as gaining more confidence slowly, but they just wish that you could see yourself from an outside perspective, because you really are doing a really great job. You're a wonderful asset to the team. Or if you own your own business and you provide services to people, I think people who have worked with you for a while or gotten your services for a while can tell that maybe you're just a little bit down on yourself sometimes, and they wish that you could see how much good you actually provide and how good your services are. I think there's also an aspect of like beauty involved in your work. You make things look very good. You have a very good aesthetic eye for your services or whatever you do. Maybe you have a little cubicle and people admire how you decorate it, or you do something different with your hair every day for work and people think that's really cute. Whatever it is, you need to know that you don't need to be as hard on yourself. You are valuable. People do recognize your talents, and there's no need to beat yourself up whenever you make a mistake. If y'all are perfectionists, a lot of your coworkers are like, why? Why does she get this way? Why does he get this way? Why do they do this to themselves? You make like one tiny little mistake, and then everyone kind of braces themselves because they don't want you to harp on yourself or be mean to yourself. I also think if you work in a team and there's been new people, a lot of new people admire your quality of work. A lot of new people admire how willing you are to accept them onto the team, and how you're just willing to work with everyone. You get along with everyone really well. People at your work they really appreciate what you do and what you bring to the table. So now we're going to move on to our final messages. So I have this oracle deck that this is the first oracle deck I ever got. Unfortunately, I have no clue what it is or where it's from. I think my friend got it for me from Etsy. But yeah, we're just going to get a quick message from the universe. Okay. We have discover. Reawaken your sense of discovery and expedition. Interesting. So in pile 2, we had this message, not with this deck, but with a different deck that I'll use next. And the message was like, get outside, go on a walk for 10, maybe 30 minutes, and just see what you discover. See what exploration can give you when it comes to like sparking that creative juice or inspiring you. I wonder if you could get a lot of insights from nature. And whenever you're feeling just foggy-headed, going outside and walking could be really beneficial for you guys. Or maybe if you've been questioning whether it's time to go on a vacation or explore a new place, even if it's in your city, like if there's something new that you've wanted to try, Spirit is definitely coming through and saying, now is the perfect time. Get your booty out there. Go outside. Go do what you want to do. Go discover what it is that you want to discover. Go on a little side quest, Take a break from the monotonous day-to-day things and go on a little side quest. See what happens for you. You might have a much better day than you think you will. So, lastly, we're going to use the Animal Bodies Oracle, or your wise animal body, sorry. And we are just going to look real quick at some advice from Spirit. Last advice from Spirit. I love the colors of this deck. I really do. It's so pretty. Okay, Spirit, what is your final advice for pile 3? Final advice for pile 3. Okay. We have deep breath. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to just walk you through how to do a nice deep breath. So here we go. So you're going to breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think this card specifically shows like holding it, but I've always heard that holding your breath for a little bit can help. So, ready? We're going to breathe in. Well, actually, breathe out all your air. Okay, ready? Breathe in. 2, 3, 4. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you should blow it all out. And then just repeat whenever you need to. Meditation and intentional breathing exercises could be very beneficial for you right now. Releasing tension in your muscles through breath could help right now. And also for my singers out there, learning how to expand the diaphragm and actually sing from the diaphragm, it completely changes your singing. Okay, so also just in general, singing. That's a great way to take some deep breaths. Challenge yourself to breathe in as much air as you can whenever you're taking breaths in between singing and stuff. And this doesn't even have to be like if you sing traditional, like if you sing often, just try singing for a little bit and get that diaphragm working, get that air coming in and out to help relax you. Okay, pile 3. This has been a long reading. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to give me a like. That's a great way to support my channel and my videos. You could also comment and let me know what resonated, what didn't. That also helps me just hone in my skills and who I'm channeling for. You could also subscribe if you feel like this reading touched you and resonated with you. There will be more videos like this in the future here at Tarot Moods, but I'm going to go ahead and leave this reading here for us today. I hope you enjoyed. I love you bunches. I hope you have a wonderful, beautiful, blessed good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye, pile 3. Hello, pile 4. Thanks so much for joining me here today for this reading. Today, we will be looking at how you are perceived by just the general world. During our tarot portion, we'll be taking a deeper look into how your different relationships think and feel about you. That'll include your family, friends, lovers, romantic interests, strangers, and lastly, your work relations and colleagues. If that sounds like a reading you'd like to hear, then please go ahead, grab yourself a drink and a snack, and let's go ahead and get started with a general overview from your oracle cards. The very first question we're looking at here is the current vibe you're giving off to the general world. The card that represents this question is the animal. I have to say, pile 4, there is a lot of buzz around you right now, which makes me excited to later look at the main talking point about you. But before then, let's talk about this. The vibe you're currently giving off to the world is very much full of energy and life. Maybe this wasn't always the case. I'm seeing in this card how the only color that is apparent here is seen in the blue eyes of this creature. This is showing me that this pile is gaining a light back in their eyes after a period of heavy energy. I'm also picking up on a lot of yin-yang energy with the black and white of this card, and the message of what goes down must come up is kind of all I'm hearing in my head right now. At this point in time, many people are seeing you as someone who is on the upward slope right now, but people are picking this up because they're seeing you take action towards a path that is authentic to you. This card talks all about our animal nature, which just reminds me of tapping into who you always were and are. People see you as someone who has truly found who it is that you are. The vibe they pick up on is one where you're not afraid to take up space anymore. You're not afraid to live life. You're giving me personally, just me personally, a lot of Alex Consani vibes, which if you don't know her, I highly encourage you to watch some of her hilarious and iconic videos. There's, I think, a fan page on Instagram called Alex Consani Love, and they post a lot of these. She is a model, but she posts these videos sometimes of her doing pretty much whatever the heck she wants to do in public. But this fan page will say things like, social anxiety is afraid of Alex Consani, and I love it. I think people really pick up on this idea that you just don't really care what people think about you. And of course, this is just the vibe that people pick up from you, so you could absolutely disagree and be like, oh, no, I actually care a lot about what people think about me. But a lot of people see you as not taking criticism or judgment to heart because you really just enjoy life and you want to live your life to the fullest. People pick up this vibe of you being very daring, living life on the edge, and pushing yourself to do as many new things as possible. You know, this energy is also giving me the vibe of Timothée Chalamet on his most recent press tour for the Bob Dylan movie. And if you haven't seen clips, he's been a little unhinged, and he's also been everywhere. And no matter where he's at and what he's doing, he seems to always be having fun without a care in the world. Very iconic energy coming from you at this time. I feel like you're also extremely magnetic right now and could be getting a lot of attention. And this kind of stems from people being inspired to be like you. You really do have a very charming personality, whether you see that or not. And it's honestly so natural to you. People don't see you as trying to be someone you're not right now. This is you, and people adore your personality. I also think people see you as someone who doesn't put a lot of pressure on yourself to make things perfect. You aren't trying to live in a state of stress. You might also prioritize your necessities like eating healthy, getting your exercise, not spending a whole bunch of time on social media. And the last thing I'm picking up is a lot of people think you are hilarious. You have really good jokes, and people feel like they can always count on you to bring the fun to literally any function you're at. Please teach me your ways. The Panther card here shows us what you are showing to the world and how people are receiving it. The first thing I want to highlight is how similar the animal card and the panther card are here. Just based on looks, both of these cards are mainly in black and white, except for the eyes. The eyes are the window to the soul. Maybe you have a lot of crinkles, not saying wrinkles, but just like a lot of little lines that appear around your eyes when you express your emotions. And people see that as a true marker to what you're feeling. Like, you know, when you can just tell that someone is going through something, even when they're smiling or trying to pretend everything is okay, it's like you can see the sadness or see through the eyes that just something isn't right, something is up. I think people look into your eyes often to see how you're really feeling and doing. And this may be because you're very, very brave, and you want to show the world that you can handle your ish. And now I'm hearing Taylor Swift in my head when she sings, "I'm a real tough kid, I can handle my They said, baby, gotta fake it till you make it, and I did." You don't want to let your problems or emotions bring people down. And I think those who love you appreciate this quality. They just wish you understood that you're never a burden, and it's okay to show the truth when you're around them. No one has it all together all the time. And they just want you to know that they love you because you're you, not because you're the class clown or the it girl, and that's girl with a U. We include everyone in the word girl. Anyway, I'd say the vibes people pick up from you are pretty accurate to the parts of you that you actually show the world. Just because of how similar these cards are, another part of you that is shown to the world is this passion to make change. I think you're someone who can't stay stuck for a very long time, and it's evident in how you move around in the world. You seem to always be doing something that progresses your life in some way, whether that's taking care of your health, taking a class to deepen or broaden your knowledge, working on a business. You seem to have a very packed schedule, and I think you like it that way. A lot of people recognize this about you, and they interpret it as a healthy thing. They know you enjoy staying busy and taking life head on. They see you, and some of them question how you're able to do so much or where you get this energy from. And something I'm seeing that maybe doesn't get through to people is the fact that you didn't just hop out of the womb like this. You've put a lot of work into creating a routine that gives back just as much as you put out. And I think you're selective with what and who you put your energy into. This is getting a little long, so I'm going to have to move on to the main talking point surrounding you right now. I just feel like I could go on and on about you guys. I've been doing this section of the reading as if I were speaking as the people who are talking about you, so bear with me here for a second. It'll make sense. When people talk about you right now, this is typically what they would say. Quote, "Have you seen pile 4? They are so smart, and it seems like they always know the right moves to make. It's like they live with this intuitive knowing of where they're meant to go and where the luck and abundance is. I can't even say that everything is lucky for them because that would discredit how wise they are. They've planted strong seeds for themselves and took the time to watch them sprout. Now it seems to be really paying off for them. I wish I could form deeper connection with them, or I wish I could hang out with them more. Pile 4 is the type of person your parents encourage you to keep around. Not only are they incredibly charismatic and electric to be around, they know what they're talking about when they give advice. They seem to have been raised pretty well, or they have used their ancestors' behavior as a tool to learn and grow from. Pile 4 is unshakable. Nothing seems to startle them or make them doubt themselves. I wish I could spend one day in Pile 4's shoes just to learn the secrets and see what it really takes to be like them. Their character is something I take notice in. They don't take the life they live for granted. I'm so proud of them. End quote. So that's what I'm receiving from others right now. Of course, every relationship is different in how they speak about you, but because this is a general reading, I wanted to keep things general. But anyway, moving on to what people love the most about you. We have the dragon, and there's been this theme of bravery following you throughout this reading so far, and it's especially highlighted in this card as it says in the guidebook that this card truly does represent bravery. I think people love how much of a leader you are. There seems to be no challenges you aren't willing to take on and conquer, even when it's not an easy feat. You have a way of mapping the path that allows you to feel confident in reaching these goals. You also are a huge totem of strength to those who love you. Your words of encouragement truly make people feel like they can be brave too. And honestly, guys, your energy is infectious. You know those baby videos where a baby falls or slightly bonks their head? It's like nothing serious, just a baby being a baby and having accidents. And then you see the parents laughing, maybe not even laughing, but the parents don't immediately coddle the baby. And there's a split second where you can see in the baby's eyes, they look to their parents like they're about to cry, but they see their parents and the parents aren't freaking out. So the baby actually starts to laugh too. Sometimes the baby will just completely forget about the bonk, you know? It's like you're that parent that keeps things lighthearted in difficult situations. And because you keep your cool, others feel like they can relax and keep their cool too. Overall, it's just a very strong leader qualities here. You should be proud of yourself, Pile 4. The last card here represents anything that might be influencing people's current perspective of you. And we have the 6th house. Now, all of these piles have not actually been relative to the current astrology, but for you guys, the 6th house in astrology is ruled by Virgo, and the lunar nodes have just moved into Pisces and Virgo. I will disclaim here that your birth chart does not need to have Virgo ruling your 6th house for this to be relevant. I just want to highlight that there are current astrological correlations. 6th house talks about our routines, our health, our daily work, organizations, etc. So it could be you've received a lot of recognition for your efforts in those areas of your life, and that's the main way people see you or consume your content if you have an online presence. You could have some major transits going through your 6th house at this time. For example, at the time I'm filming this, we have Mars retrograde in Cancer. So if you have Cancer in your 6th house, you'd be experiencing some major focus in these areas to rework and revise in order to make those areas of your life stronger in the future. And again, this doesn't mean you have to have this. It's just an example. I think your routines are really paying off, or your consistency in one or more areas is paying off. Something you practice daily is starting to become fruitful. Very interesting. Gonna have to keep that in mind, okay, Pile 4? But now we've come to the end of our oracle portion, so we're going to go ahead and move on to our more in-depth tarot. As I go through each relationship, you can either set the intention to be a specific person, or you can just stick around for a general look at multiple people per relationship. I promise it'll make sense. Just stand by and I'll walk you through it. Also, I have Skip by Doechii going through my head right now, so I wonder if some of you guys like Skip by Doechii or have listened to that song recently. It's such a good song. I definitely recommend it if you are looking for a vibe. Okie dokie, so we are going to do a little shuffle. So essentially, I'm going to pull a card for each of these relationships. As I'm pulling these cards, I want you to think about a specific person that you have this sort of relationship with if you're looking for a specific person's message to you. However, if you're not looking for a specific person, you can just stay along for the ride, and this is just going to be a general overview of each relationship's thoughts and feelings for you. So we're going to start out with family. Go ahead and think of a specific family member if you have one. If not, let's go ahead and shuffle. So Spirit, for pile 4, current thoughts and feelings from pile 4's family. We have Judgment. Okay, great. And then for friends, you can think of a specific one or just general. Pile 4 is friends, thoughts and feelings. Okay, I have 2. Have the Knight of Pentacles reversed, and we have the Lovers upright. Okay, great. Love to see it here. Okay, now for lovers or a romantic interest, thoughts and feelings. We have the 8 of Swords. Okay. And then strangers for pile 4. 3 of Cups reversed. And then lastly, colleagues or work relationships for pile 4. Okay, I've got 2. We have Strength reverse and Temperance. Okay, so the very first message that I'm getting from the Judgment card here with your family, I wonder if there are past mistakes or sacrifices that your parents made or had to make for you to have a better future, or you've like made mistakes or said things in the past that you didn't mean, especially when you were younger, or maybe just being young and dumb, you caused some strife for your family or a specific family member. They're definitely coming through to say, like, there is no need to apologize or to hold yourself under so much stress and tension, because it's already been like done and dealt with in their mind for a very long time. They don't see you as a past version of you. They see you for who you are fully now, and they've loved each and every form and being that you've been as you learn and grow. And they are just as proud of you now as they were back when you were the version of yourself that you now are maybe ashamed about or cringe at. They've loved you and are proud of you then and now. And there's no need to beat yourself up over past mistakes or past hurts, past words. This person is very forgiving. Your family in general are very forgiving and loving. They're more focused on your future and helping you reach whatever goals you want than any sort of pain or strife in the past. That's been done and dealt with for a very long time. And they hope that you don't carry too much weight from the past too. There's a lot of past energy coming about. So I wonder if you guys have struggled a lot in the past, or your family has witnessed you evolve from a lot of adversity. And there's also something here of like your character has been proven to them already. You don't have to keep, you don't have to do things to win them over, or to make them see you in a different light because they see you for who you are. Like, their idea of you has already been solidified for a very long time, and it's a very positive one. And they know your character, and they know who you are at the core. And a slip up every now and then, or a backtracking in mistakes or progress or whatever, isn't going to sway their idea of you. I think this family member, or your family in general, are very proud to show you off, to show off any sort of accomplishments, or kind of like bragging rights. I'm hearing like bragging rights. This family member, or your family in general, they like to talk to you, or like to talk about you to everyone that they meet. They're so proud of you. They're the type to carry around a little picture in their wallet, and whenever they strike up a conversation, they're like, oh yeah, but my child, or my grandchild, my niece, my nephew, this is what they're doing. Look how cool they are. This is them. This is what they do. Isn't that so cool? Like, they are so proud to have you as a family member, and they would scream it from the top of Everest if they could, if that meant that everyone could hear how amazing you are in their eyes. I think also on this judgment card, we have a lot of little spirit beings being showed in this fairy's or this angel's skirt. So I wonder if you have a few passed on family members who are coming through to say, we still see you. We are so proud of your accomplishments. We haven't missed anything. We've been there for the ride. We've been there for your ups and downs, and we're helping you and guiding you from the other side. We would never leave your side. And they also want to let you know that they are doing well. They are not hurting. They're not in pain. One of the favorite parts of their spiritual day is getting to check in on you and see what you're up to. Like, if they had a little spiritual TV and they could tune into Pile 4 channel, it would be on blast, even as background noise when they're focusing on their other tasks. I think your family, or this family member, wants you to know that you can always vent to them about any stress you're facing, or you can always come to them for advice, and they will try their best to give you not only their guidance, but guidance they feel is best for your situation. They're not coming from a place of, if I were in your shoes, rather they're coming from a place of, okay, this is what you're dealing with. Here's what I believe from an outsider's point of view would actually help in this situation. So there might be instances where you're like, what? Like, you want me to do that? You think I should do that? And I think Spirit is saying, like, they know what they're talking about. They're not just channeling this from out of blue. Spirit often might talk through your family members to you to help guide you in the right direction. That could also mean that one of your family members, or a lot of your family members, are a part of your spiritual family, in the sense of, like, they guide you just as much here on earth as they have in other lifetimes where they're not here on earth with you. There's a significant, like, soul contract between you and your family, or you and a family member. And I wonder, have you guys kind of said, like, I want you to be my parent every single time I reincarnate, or like, I wouldn't want any other parent except you? That's kind of like a soul contract, like, I hope we find each other throughout every lifetime, whatever you believe in, you know what I mean? There's something very special here, and it's like the moment your family met you, the moment your family member got to hold you, it was so special for them and so eye-opening for them, and they just knew in that moment that they would do anything they could to protect you and make sure that you had every opportunity that they could give you. And if they couldn't give you everything, they hoped that they could guide you to whatever it is that you wanted, safely and happily. That's very sweet. Okay, we're going to move on to your friends. So clearly, with the Lovers here, I mean, your friends care about you so much. They love you so much. You are a huge light in your friends' lives. It's almost like a two peas in a pod, and that doesn't mean you only have like one friend. I'm just saying, like, your friends truly do feel like you came into their life for a reason, and they're so proud to know you, and they feel so blessed to get to share this earth with you. I wonder if things have kind of been not off. What's a good way to describe this? Like, as you get older and you just sometimes you get so entrapped in your own life and what's going on and so busy with other things that it can sometimes be hard to make time for even your closest friends. Something like that might be happening right now for you guys, where you're like, of course I would practically like DIE for my friends. I love them so much, but I also have to focus elsewhere and I can't like do it all. Your friends are coming through to say, we get it. We're there too. You're not alone in this. Don't worry. Like, nothing will change. Nothing can change this bond. There's a lot of depth and understanding here on a spiritual level. You may even feel like you and your friends or a specific friend came from like the same soul tribe, or if you believe in other dimensions, like you came and reincarnated on earth from the same dimension and you were friends in that other dimension before here, there's a long soul history between you guys, or just a feeling of, I know you, I've known you before, I love you, our love has gone years and years in the past and years in the future, and it's unbreakable, unshakable. There's also a thing here of like, don't put pressure on yourself to be perfect, to get everything right, or to always know what to say, because your friends love the authentic you, and even the parts of you that you feel you have to hide or feel aren't perfect. There's nothing that can make your friends feel differently about you. I think your friends or a friend would like to come through and say they love how you're not passive aggressive and you're also receptive to them whenever they like need to talk about things. Because here's the thing, relationships are hard work. Any sort of relationship is hard work. There are going to be times where you disagree. There are going to be times where you nudge each other in the wrong way. But when it comes to love and wanting to make something more permanent, you talk about your issues, you compromise, you find resolution. And I think this friend or multiple friends are saying, you're so easy to talk to, you never make me feel like my feelings are invalid, and that is something irreplaceable about you. And they want you to know that they also love how vocal you are about any issues that you need to be solved. And the way you go about things is very, what's the right way to say this? Like, blunt, but not aggressive, if that makes sense. You're an open book, and you're going to tell the truth with a delivery that makes another person feel like they aren't being attacked and challenges them for positive growth. There's also a message here. If you are waiting on releasing something creatively, your friends are saying like, gosh darn it, I can't wait till this comes out so the whole world can see how amazing my friend is, because your friends truly and fully believe in your creative endeavors, and they are just so proud of you, and they just love what you create. If you've ever questioned whether your friend is just being nice about your creations or if they actually mean that they like things, they genuinely mean that they like things, and you do not have to be insecure about that, because they are telling you the truth when they say, this stuff is fire, okay? When it comes to lovers and romantic endeavors, romantic interests, whether you're single or in a relationship, right now, I think this person is very in their head about you in a way where they might be racking their brain about something they perceived wrong they did. And I can see this happening in two ways. Like, let's first talk about if you're single. You know when someone like has a crush on you, or maybe you're crushing on someone, and you finally work up the courage to talk to them, and they make a joke or you make a joke, and it just isn't received well. Like, you can tell it's kind of awkward and kind of cringe. And then you go home and you're like, oh my gosh, I can never talk to this person again. I can't do this. Like, I ruined all my chances. I can't ever be together with them. I feel like there's a little bit of this energy going on right now where someone is overthinking about you, or overthinking about an interaction. And I think it's because this person puts you on such a high pedestal. They definitely see you as a different creature than them, because we have the hummingbird that the goose/swan is looking up at, and the goose/swan is the one that's kind of trapped. But the Eight of Swords talks about being trapped in our own making. You know, you can break free anytime, which is why it's a lot of like a mental energy and like kind of talking ourselves into a box or talking ourselves into a corner. I think they're definitely overthinking because they just see you as so full of light, full of energy, so talented, and they're like, I messed it up. I don't know how to do this. So you definitely have someone in their feels about you. So if you've noticed that things were going good with someone and maybe like they kind of like dipped off for a bit, or they're acting a little awkward around you, I think it's genuinely because they think that they ruined their chances with you. As far as those of you in committed relationships, I think this could be talking about a little more serious things. Like, let's say there was a goal to move in together by this stage, right? But that didn't happen because X, Y, and Z popped up, or finances weren't where they needed to be, blah, 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 blah. Whatever it is, this person is definitely taking on more of the blame in this situation, but it's like almost obnoxious because they're just like, it feels right now that they're using shame and guilt as motivation right now, which isn't always the best like motivating factor for like, or healthy motivation, you know? I feel like they want to make your life easier. They want to solve an issue that y'all have been dealing with, but they think that they messed something up. They think that they like can't make it happen because of a shortfalling on their part. And maybe that's true, you know, maybe they did make a mistake, but it could have been something simple as like, oh, I thought I was going to get this company bonus at this time, but instead they had to push it back to this month. And so it's like something is out of their control, but they're taking it really harshly as a reflection on them than just like something's out of their control, you know? So if you've noticed, they've been a little bit more reclusive or just kind of like embarrassed to talk about something with you, or they're just, you know, not their usual self. It is because they are beating themselves up pretty harshly right now. But they do love and care about you, and they just wish that they could provide what it is that they want to provide for you. As far as strangers, the Three of Cups reversed. Right away, I think there are a lot of strangers who see you and think, dang, because I can't say the other word, dang, you know, they are like, that is some fineness. They are very attracted to you whenever they see you. I think a lot of people could see themselves being friends with you, but they don't know how to kind of like get into your circle. I think they see you having fun a lot, especially if you're the type to go out a lot and hang out with friends. They're kind of just like, oh, I wish I had a friend group like that, or oh, I wish I could be a part of their circle, their world. You definitely have cool girl energy, girl with a U, like we already discussed. Also, on the other hand, there might be strangers who see you out in the world, you know, having fun and doing whatever it is and being your joyful self, and they're like, ugh, that's just someone who can always have fun. But, you know, if they had to deal with responsibilities, they wouldn't be having fun like that. They wouldn't be as unhinged and happy, merry-go-lucky. But the thing is like, these are strangers. They don't see the other aspects of your life. They don't see you putting in that work to make sure you can go and have fun, you know, to make sure you can go and be free and be happy. And mainly this just stems from jealousy because, you know, it's normal. We look at people and we're like, oh, I wish, like deep down will be like, oh, I wish I could experience that. But their ego gets it in their head that they can't because of like responsibilities or whatever challenges they're facing. So they're just like, oh, I'm gonna project onto you that you just have everything easy, when like, no, that's farther from the case than, reality. But yeah, the majority of strangers are just like, wow, that is a person upon a person, and I wish I could be around them because they seem like so much fun. I wish I could be like them. I wish I could have as much fun as them. I'm gonna be inspired by them for the rest of my life. Maybe that's a little dramatic, but whatever. It's my channel. I can say whatever I want. Your colleagues and work relations. I think your colleagues are coming through and they're kind of just like, I hope pile 4 is taking care of themselves. Not that you're like giving them any direct like notice that you're not taking care of yourself. Like, I guess what I'm trying to say is they just hope that you have a good balance of work and play, especially if these are coworkers who you don't hang out with outside of work, or they don't really know what you do outside of work. They just wish very positive things onto you. They hope that you take care of yourself. They hope that you're doing well. They hope you know that if you ever needed anything, you can call on them. They would be there in an instant to protect you, because I do think you're a huge value at work, not just for the work that you produce, but just for the character that you are. We've already talked about how you just bring the fun wherever you go, and people genuinely love to be around you because your personality is just that great. And it's no different at work, They just hope if things ever get too hard, or if you need a leg up, or if you need advice or someone to help, even with something that isn't related to work, if you needed help in your personal life, they would be more than happy to help you out. And I know when people say like, this workplace, we're really a family. I don't mean it like that, but you have some coworkers or colleagues who are just like, you really are a part of my family. Like you've weaseled your way up there, kid. And I would do anything to protect you, which is really sweet, very cute. I wonder who it is that you work with. There is also something like, if you've been facing some struggles recently, I don't know why I'm getting like health or something in the home. I know we talked a little bit about Virgo earlier, and that can do with like bodily health, stuff like that. If you're having issues with health or something in the home recently, that you've shared with your coworkers, they do see you and feel bad for you, and they understand your pain. And they hope that things get better for you soon. And maybe that is that message as well, as like, please take care of yourself. We're here for you if you need us. We appreciate all you do, and we can always give back to you whenever you need. I also think if there's something you're trying to make happen, a lot of your coworkers believe in you. Like, I'm just thinking of someone, maybe they're getting ready to ask for a raise, or maybe you're about to present some new information to a board that would change the way you guys do your workflow. I don't know. I'm thinking of like science and all that. But if you're preparing something big to present at work, there are coworkers that believe in you and have full faith in your capability to deliver this information greatly and to get a really good response back. I think they believe that your findings are valid. They believe that the research and effort you've put into this thing is completely true and really well executed. And they just know if you go in there with the confidence that you can accomplish this and that you know your stuff, there's nothing holding you back, because you do deserve that raise, or you do deserve to change how things are working because of the research that you found, You're doing great. And they hope that you don't hold doubt for yourself, because they really see your vision. And you're not alone in whatever you're feeling. Okay. So now we're going to move on to a message from the universe. We're going into our closing messages. So a message from the universe, Spirit. I just put on lotion, so my hands are a little like sticky, and I think it's affecting the shuffling of these cards. Okay, I'm going to take this. Your dream will come true. Aww. This is just one of the affirmation cards in this deck. It says your dream will come true. I love that. So if you've been trying to manifest something specific, or you're putting a lot of energy towards something, this is just a friendly reminder from the universe that you can manifest your dreams and your dreams will come true. Wishing on a star isn't light work. You know, you can wish on the star, and as long as you have the hard work to back it up, hello diction, hello enunciation, as long as you have the hard work to back it up, nothing is stopping you, and you can get through any challenge that is put in your way. There's also like a message of you will be seeing results quickly, a lot sooner than you thought you would, and things are going to get better, especially if you resonate with that message of something being wrong in the house or health, whatever that is. I definitely think things are going to be going on an upward slope right now. Like we said in the beginning, wow, look at how tarot just kind of wraps itself up, right? Okay, last advice from Spirit. We're going to use the Animal Bodies Oracle, or my wise animal body. As always, all the decks will be listed down below in the description. We're just gonna do a little shuffle. Okay, last advice from Spirit for pile 4. Okay. Who got this? Pile 2 got this as well. So if you felt called to pile 2, that could be significant for you as well. We have Rove. So this talks about going out and like wandering like a wild animal. Obviously, hopefully you have a map with you, like Google Maps or something on you when you do this. Don't get yourself into any danger. But if you are feeling stressed, or you just don't know what to do, you need some motivation, or you just need to get out of your mind, if you're feeling all scatterbrained, go outside and wander. Just go wherever your feet take you. Don't think about it too hard. As long as you're doing it safely and you're protected, wander like a wild animal. Allow your body to lead you to what it is that you need to find. I strongly believe that nature has a lot of messages for us, and if we intentionally spend time outside with the intention to be shown the way or to be shown guidance, we're definitely going to get it. So don't be afraid to wander outside and experience nature like the animals that we are. But, okay, pile 4. Last but not least, this is all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. A really great way to support me here is to give me a like, or to share this video with people who you also think might enjoy this. It just really helps me and helps me spread love to more people. You could also leave me a comment if you would like to share your thoughts about this reading with me. I always love reading comments and seeing all the different perspectives from all of you guys. You, lastly, can subscribe if you enjoyed this reading enough to join me here for future readings in the future, of course, with tarot moods. But that's all I have for you. I'm wishing you a wonderful, beautiful, blessed good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Love you, pile 4. Bye-bye.